Daygamers, don't let inflation make you mGtOw. Marry anyways. Picture this: you're 35, you're single, you have no kids, you're grinding hard, but still not where you want to be financially because you are mGtOwed. Or men going their own way, quitting day game due to the inflation. Luckily, he's out of the office by tomorrow. Now imagine an alternate reality where you got married when you're younger and you had a kid and you use that motivation to build an empire. Which version of you is more successful? If you pick the second one, you're onto something big. In this video, I'm going to deep dive into why the conventional wisdom of get rich first, then settle down is actually holding you back. If you're ready to flip the script and level up your life, I know that I have many students married already, even some are fathers. Because I have this perspective, I know what I'm talking about. So, because I was a frustrated day game coach, watching success stories, or people watching my success stories of video testimonials, and they get ignored by men who were mentally tapping out. They're blaming the binflation, luckily he's gone tomorrow, and turning into mGtOw losers. And I started putting it to a vote in my community section. Actually, 46% of the men over there, averagely, of all the people, they voted that they have given up. They have been depressed and turned mGtOw. And some of the newer votes are saying, because I was criticizing ABCs of low self-esteem company and Passport Bros and even Latin countries, which is their backup plan, and also Tinder. When I criticize these things, because what I say becomes law, when I get more people laid, then they have quit even further because I insulted their backup plan. That's not good. So instead, you should take action. They convinced themselves that success was impossible because they're thinking, well, if they ignored all my student lay testimonials, all the proof, and they quit before they try, because they think to themselves, well, if tall self-proclaimed coaches can only get 1 or 2 students laid last year, or they think like ABCs can only get 1 student laid in Latin America, a lot of people are thinking, why even try? If marriage is so expensive, why even bother? Because people don't want to pay and they don't want to have survival value, because just like Japan, they realize that they probably don't have enough money to raise a family. So they already just tapped out, mentally tapped out. But I think you should not tap out yet. You should resist. Despite what I say about Tinder, despite what I say about ABCs in Latin countries, you should not tap out. This is not my intention to make you quit. So what I'm saying is that success is not impossible. This is not Japan with a currency that's worthless. And this wasn't just hurting them. It was killing my future student potential as well. The more men quit day game, the harder it was for me to get more laid in po testimonials as an unstoppable Johnny Lee army in 2025. Of course, we don't really know until we see. But if people are quitting because I'm criticizing other coaches in your backup plan, and then you think marriage is too expensive, I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to fix this in a different mindset, which is completely counterintuitive. But I have so many students married and so many of them are fathers. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you the solution here. And you're going to flip the script, because your biggest objection is that, why should I even approach? That's your objection, is that, why even bother? Because you don't want to get married. It's too expensive. You can't raise a family. But I can show you how you can do all that and make even more money. You're like, really? I can show you how you can make more money and how this is possible, because my students make more money when they actually get married. You're like, really? They do. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But John, we're curious. We want to know. So basically, mGtOw wasn't just some movement because mGtOw is growing. That's what they say. Why is mGtOw growing? So therefore they're right. No, it's not righteous. Cancer can grow too. Wokeism can grow too. Wokeism has been destroying the tree of life, where people no longer want to be part of procreating, and that's a bad thing. mGtOw and also red pill has been destroying the tree of life. So it's just, in a way, you could think of it as a cancer, a disease spreading, a failure with the Biden administration affecting people's winner and loser effect. The more they win, the more testosterone they get. The more they lose, the more cortisol they get. So they get double chin like a mGtOw person. The more they lose, the bigger this gets. And that's the problem. So that's why they felt like they were losing. But in reality, men weren't just avoiding women. They were avoiding challenges, responsibility, and success itself. The winner and loser effect explains everything. Let me explain to you. Because the more you win, the more testosterone you get. You know, your jawline gets more defined. You take a lot more risk. And you go for it. Because a lot of my students right now, they felt like they're losing. Even though they have a bet with me every single week, they have to complete their homework assignments. If they're completely zombie, which is the loser effect, like they lose one time, they're going to lose the next one. They'll lose the bet. That's what I've observed. You have to yell at them. Because when they have low self-esteem, they have the 4 traits of low self-esteem. Number 1, delusional. Number 2, half-assing it. Oh, they're half-assing it, but they're still trying. My students are still trying, but they're affected too. So don't think you're the only one who is affected. A lot of my students are acting like zombies. Number 3, the wrong path, the sociopath. And number 4, mGtOw, quitting. Having said that, winners get more testosterone. They take more risks. They build more success. Losers get more cortisol. They take fewer risks and quit. But the difference is I'm not like you guys. Even though people are ignoring my message because they're turning mGtOw, because I criticize their future plans, which is Tinder, and also criticizing Passport Bro. That's your secret backup plan, because I'm insulted ABCs. You should not quit just because I insult this kind of thing. I'm just saying get laid in the United States first, or Canada, but mostly United States, or London, Europe, first world country. Then you can be a Passport Bro. But first of all, do that in your home country first. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Losers get more cortisol, they take fewer risks, and they quit. But it's kind of funny because the more video testimonials I post of students getting laid or getting married, the more I win. But at the same time, you losers are making me lose. You're punishing me. So now I have to experience cortisol for no reason at all. Why did all these people drop off? What the fuck? Well, let's make them drop back in. Make them fucking drop back in. Because let me just post a link to this. All right? Bear with me. So these men were not growing. They were chemically programming themselves to lose. So this is like a hormonal issue. If that makes sense. It's a hormonal issue, and that's not good. Okay, this is not letting me post a fucking video. What the fuck? Video. Let's see if there's a newest one over here. I'm going to insert this video. Okay. On YouTube live now, right? Watch it. All right. As I was saying, it's like almost like a hormonal battle. Because when I bet with the students, one thing I've noticed is that even if they took supplements for their depression, if they don't have the ADHD under control, they're still going to lose the bet. They're not going to finish the homework assignment. They're going to get more cortisol, and they're going to lose the next one. So you have to yell at them. So in a way, the worst part is that when people ignore my video testimonials, real students getting laid, getting married, even thriving in the worst economy, inflation, luckily is gone tomorrow. Why? Because their brains were trapped in the loser effect. So this is really more of a hormonal issue. It doesn't matter how logical and how good my argument is, even though it is backed by science now, because I start looking at procrastinators. I'm showing this to my students. A lot of people that procrastinate, 25% of them are depressed, they have ADHD, and they have low self-esteem. That's what it said on a hospital website. It's exactly identical to what I said, and my students were surprised. They're extremely surprised. How do you know, John? I'm just like, this is like a scientific study whenever the students go through my program. But however, The losers, it doesn't matter how great you talk to them. You could be the most logical person. When they're going through cortisol and it's pumping through their system, it is not a good feeling. You start to look like those fat black mGtOw people out there making videos on their own channel talking about how mGtOw is like the truth or some shit like that. They're just fucking fat. So there's no argument because that's a losing hormone. Is pumped through their system. They're losing. Give it a thumbs up if you're not a loser and you still want to fight. But as I was saying about the marriage thing, we'll talk about that. Because every time you avoid responsibility, their body reinforces quitting as the default mindset. So here's what I realized about the solution about marriage. So waiting for them to wake up wasn't enough for the mGtOw, because a lot of people quit because I criticize passport bros in Latin countries, which is your backup plan. I'm saying don't do it, but I'm just saying do it get laid in the United States first before you go and be a passport bro. And also, if I'm criticizing ABCs and all the other coaches only getting 1 or 2 lay testimonials, they only have 1. They have a student recently just polled, right? Polled does not mean lay. Just because it's hard for them, here's another objection. Just because it's hard for ABCs and tall self-proclaimed high lay count coaches, I think they have 2 now, doesn't mean it's hard for you guys. They're zombies. They're Asperger's. The coaches were former engineers. Of course it's hard for them, but it's easy for my students. They have 56 laden pole testimonials, and they're married too. And when I post the previews, no one cared. Does that make sense? It is super easy with social skills and social calibrations. It is basically all you can eat for lays. I'm not just saying this is bullshit. I'm not just saying this because, oh yeah, this is just marketing gimmick. No, 56 laden pole testimonials is better than 1 or 2. That means there is a way to fucking do this. There is actually a way to do this. Super fucking easy. But you cannot be like fucking zombies losing and procrastinating, because all procrastinators are losers. So I had to attack mGtOw head on and show them why quitting was making them weaker. I had to reprogram their mindsets with success-based thinking before they destroy their future. Do not quit just because I attacked ABCs and other coaches thinking that day game is super hard now. It's not super hard. It's super fucking easy. The easiest for my students. If I knew I could snap them out of their loser trance and they start winning again, that would be great. So I restructure my videos and sales letters to destroy mGtOw. Excuses. That's right. I attacked other false beliefs about money, marriage, and success. I exposed how avoiding risk was chemically reinforcing failure of the cortisol. It doesn't matter what I say. When they're listening to me and they want to quit, the cortisol that's pumping through their hormonal system, it is not a pleasant feeling. It is a loser hormone. It stresses you out completely. Like the mGtOw people, it stresses you out and makes you want to quit. But it's so hard for you because you guys don't have ADHD meds or supplements. You don't know what to take, which I will not teach you. However, if you got that handled and you complete your task, you're going to start winning small battles and you're going to have more testosterone. Does that make sense? When you have more testosterone, you win more, you take more risk. So having said that, I create a system that breaks their quitting cycle and flips them back into winners. And it worked. But more engagement, more conversions, more men waking up when I talk about this topic. I know I should not talk about it forever, but we have to deal with some of it now. Because if we don't deal with it and they're on the wrong path, they're going to quit. And they're going to blame me for criticizing other dating coaches and realizing how hard it was for them to get students laid. It does not mean it's hard for my students. It's only hard for the zombies with super Asperger's and low SMV and full of cortisol procrastinators. It's hard for them. It doesn't mean it's hard for my students. It's super easy for them. But there was still one big problem. Most of these guys were drowning in low self-esteem, completely overloaded with the loser hormone, cortisol. It's like they had a scorecard of failures and constant reinforcement in their brain. The more they lost, the harder it became to take action. They weren't just mentally weak. They were chemically looking into quitting. And this wasn't just an attitude problem. It was a biochemical cycle reinforcing failure. They failed a few times and they got burned by rejections. Inflation made things harder. Instead of fighting back, and that's why I want to teach you guys Krav Maga soon, how to fight the Israeli way and their mindsets of Israeli soldiers. the survival mindset. Instead of fighting back, they quit and they rationalize it as philosophy. mGtOw wasn't about empowerment. It was about men running from responsibilities, reinforcing failures, and chemically locking themselves into a losing mindset. The longer they avoided challenges, the worse they felt. And the worse they felt, the more they quit. It became a downward spiral they could not escape from. And what's the worst part? They ignored all my video testimonials, including the students married. I'm going to give you the solution of what you should do if you guys stick around. What should you do and why you should get married? I'm going to talk about that because that's proof my training works, because their loser hormone won't let them see a way out. They dismiss real success stories like luck, or they'll say it's fake, but there's no proof it is fake. And that's like defaming my name. You know, my lawyers will not like, my Canadian Indian lawyer, who's a psychopath, and my American lawyer will not like you defaming my name and slandering me, saying it's fake, just because they don't know how to fucking do it, because their minds are programmed to see everything as hopeless. So I couldn't stand watching this happen. These men were robbing themselves the chance to win and thrive and to build something meaningful in life. And it wasn't just affecting them, it was affecting my students and future success and the growth of the Johnny Lee Army. If too many men quit, there's no one left to train. I mean, 46% of the men voted that they're going to quit. No one left to push forward for the movement of the Johnny Lee Army. I was frustrated as a day game coach. That's why I decided to attack mGtOw head on with 10 wake-up calls. I started systematically posting advice videos 10 times over to reactivate their motivation and to break them out of their helplessness. I knew their brains were stuck in a chemical loop of quitting, so I had to reprogram their mindset with successful based thinking. I call it the 10 piece of mindset reactivation. That's right. So what does this mean? I structured a system of all the advice videos you saw in the last YouTube live, which I'm going to cut into the video section, to interrupt their failure cycle, to force them to think like winners again. I had a handful of men they woke up and they create a ripple effect that could bring back even more men from the edge. I attack one false belief one after another. I destroy their excuses about money, women, and success. I show them why quitting was chemically reinforcing their failure. I made so clear that even the loser mindset couldn't ignore it. And the results start rolling in. Men start to think about quitting, and they start taking action again. mGtOw excuses were crushed. The cycle of failure was disrupted. Men start winning. But instead of losing testosterone and drawing cortisol, they flip the script. They start winning more, gaining confidence, and stacking success. I can now pull men out of their mGtOw trap before they fully checked out. Instead of losing them forever, I see them waking up, questioning their loser beliefs, and finally taking action again. So I'm going to talk about this. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about marriage. Just stick around. I get DMs from guys who were about to quit, thanking me for snapping them out of their failure trance. Some even gets married, became fathers, and made more money because they finally took control of their lives. And for those who can be saved, the ones who ignored the 10 wake-up calls, they're gone forever. They're done. They chose quitting. They're not winners. And we don't need losers in the Johnny Lee Army. So now, instead of wasting time debating with losers, my system automatically filters out who can be saved. The winner steps up, the losers self-destruct. And in the end, I'm building a stronger Johnny Lee Army in 2025. One that doesn't quit, doesn't tap out, and doesn't fall into loser thinking. It meant more men were winning, getting laid, building families, making money, and dominating life. Because quitting was never the answer. Winning is. Listen up. You're either going to keep making excuses, turning mGtOw, and watching your life pass you by, or you're going to take control and invest Elite Bundle 2 and start getting results in 2025. This is the only system that's got people married and laid consistently for day game, no matter how hard the economy gets. Elite 30, Elite Playbook, Elite Day Game First Steps, Elite Access, 11 Skype sessions, 1.5 years of direct coaching from Elite Access. And the most late testimonials in 2024, even during the worst inflation in history. I'm glad he's going to be gone. This isn't some $10,000 scam boot camp of other coaches. If I insult other coaches, it doesn't mean you should quit and go to their Latin tours. If I insult Latin tours and that was your backup plan, you should not quit. You should get laid in the United States first. And this is the system that gets men laid. One student got 17 lays, another 8 lays. Other students got married. Now it's your turn. So as I'm saying. Okay. Now let's get to the topic about marriage. Now that we're finally here, what should you do instead? Because you feel like, oh shit, you don't want to quit. Now we finally got into it, right? Thank you for sticking around. So what should you do for the marriage? All right. The very first thing you should think about is that is actually the opposite is true. The opposite is true. You actually should get married first, or you should get her pregnant. I'm not saying intentionally get her pregnant. Obviously, it might be accidental. It might be accidental. But a lot of my students have gotten women pregnant. So let's talk about it over here. Okay. So, sorry, I read the wrong part of the script first. That's why it's like a little bit off topic. But let's talk about the marriage that you're finally here. Maybe I should just switch it like this in the future. So, all right, let's begin. So, hey, do you know that waiting until you're financially ready before getting married is actually keeping you broke? You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? The longer you wait, the harder life gets and the fewer options you have. So you automatically quit. It is a losing strategy. I know it sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing about staying single and stacking money and avoiding relationships is the best way to succeed. Maybe go to Thailand later on, but that's actually the reason why most men are miserable. Failing and falling behind, weeded out of evolutionary psychology. And while you may think it's important to be a passport bro, and I know that when I insult the passport bros, a lot of you guys quit, right? For day game. Basically for the other students, right? You, however, been banned for like fucking 2 weeks because you didn't do any homework. But other students are failing too. You need to take your, don't say the name of it, your ADHD supplements every single day. Number two, the other student, he was doing a gratitude journal. You ignored it. You just did it for 2 days and pumped your state, Marco. And then you fucking quit. You want to get married with a white girl, right? But the other Indian student, your classmate, he's done all his homework assignment. He actually showed up at the mall a few times because his emotions no longer depressed. But you say you're not depressed. Oh, whatever you say. Your emotional chart is super low. Let's continue. As I'm saying. But today I'm talking about the elite bundle too. But let's talk about this. Okay? We're off fucking track. So while you think that's important, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets with you today that's going to revolutionize the way you think about wealth, women, and procreation and winning in life. I'm Johnny Lee. I'm the best day game coach in the world. That's 656 laid in poll testimonials. You should be getting more, Marco. What the fuck? Why am I stuck at 656? Stop being fucking zombies. Yes, they're all real. Marco over here, you know, in the audience, he's one of my students who gotten laid. And he gotten like 2 girlfriends at the same time before. A girlfriend, a fuck buddy, 2 lays recently, you know, at least 2024. And he wants to get married now. That's his goal. Lots of students want to get married. So, as I'm saying, yes, they are all real. Second, many students also got married. Some are fathers due to my training. So I don't know what you're talking about. So what is the real key to success that most loser mGtOw men ignores? It's called the procreation and marriage first success model. You're like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Marco's not rich here. He's not rich at all. Okay? And maybe he might be thinking, well, it's really hard to raise a family if you're not rich. How will you do it? Men should take on the responsibility of marriage, fatherhood, and commitments, gain financial success. Those who avoids it chase distractions, loses motivation, and turns mGtOw, staying stuck and falling behind. Like I said, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets called the procreation and marriage first success model and how you can accidentally get her pregnant. I'm not saying you should accidentally poke holes in your condoms or anything like that. But I'm just saying a lot of my Latino students, believe it or not, they still get her pregnant because they don't like to use condoms for some reason because they're sociopaths. A lot of the sociopath students don't use condoms. And some of the students that use condoms, but the woman uses the condom, I'm not sure she pokes holes in it, then the student gets her pregnant. The Indian student, you know who I'm talking about. Guy with glasses, the guy in Elite 30. So, by the way, you guys start training with John, right? He will get you laid spring. Exactly. So having said that, okay, I'm not saying accidentally get her pregnant. I know that sounds awful, but a lot of my students do accidentally get the woman pregnant, usually Latinas, then get married later on. Or sometimes they get married first. So men often make more money when they are a father. You're like, wait, what are you talking about, John? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So you're saying, John Elite, if the student becomes a father, then the money problem solves itself? That doesn't make sense. Aren't we supposed to make a lot of money first, being mGtOw, men going your own way, not dating, and then all of a sudden make enough money and then the women will fall in love with you? No, you're supposed to get it in. You're supposed to somehow she gets pregnant. I'm not saying like that. I don't condone you poking holes in condoms. Or if she's super fucking hot, she's smoking hot Russian, you just don't wear a condom, she gets pregnant, and just say, I'll take care of the kid in the future, don't worry about it. If that happens, right? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, in case she gets pregnant or in case you get married first, whatever happens first, a lot of students get married or they get pregnant, then they become fathers. And when they're fathers, they have to take care of their kid, whether they have a son or daughter. The Latino guy, he has a son. And my other Indian student, in 2 months, 2.5 months, his fuck buddy is going to give birth. And is a girl in this case. So now he has a daughter he's going to be taken care of. So having said that, his mindset already changed. And some of the students, even though they're married or they procreated, they still bang women on the side because they have enough SMV due to my training. And the women knows that. They don't care because she wants to be with them. Some of these guys who procreated, they're not short people. They're not super short. They have some SMV and the women will never leave them, even if they cheat on them. I'm not saying all of them do that. Maybe some of the students, not all of them. I never taught them to do that. That goes against my principles. You know, in the Bible, thou shalt not covet, your neighbor's wife. But having said that, not all has done that. And I know what you're probably thinking, but isn't it marriage a risk? But what if you get divorced? Red pill shit, mGtOw shit. What if you lose money or get trapped? But again, I'm going to show you a great way you can keep control and protect your assets and actually gain more power by leveraging commitments the right way. So you can win no matter what happens and get amazing results. Are you guys ready? So the very first secret is that you should do the opposite. Get her pregnant first or marry her first. Have the baby, then marry, and then watch your income soar. Most guys think they need to get rich first, but the truth is responsibility and pressure forces you to level up faster. You're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. No, it does make perfect sense. If you're a father and you find out that the woman is pregnant, then you have to raise the kid. Something happens to my students. At first, they cry about it. They're like, oh, I don't want to get I don't want to be a father. I fucked up, right? But then afterwards, guess what happens? I talk to them a little bit that they're passing the tree of life, and they start to accept it. Once they accept it, then they get into father mode. Now they have mouths to feed, and they start making more money. That's the weird thing. If they get married, or if they have a family, they somehow magically make more money. I don't know how that works, but for them, statistically, that solves your problem, because if you try to do it your way, which is the mGtOw way, which is make money first, you never make enough as a mGtOw. You're so depressed. You're going to spend every fucking dollar as antidepressants, because once you feel depressed, you're going to waste a lot of money unnecessarily just to pacify the depression. And then all the money is gone and you're in debt. Because the more ADHD you are, the more in debt. But you never put yourself in a situation of having a girlfriend because you're thinking like it's Japan. You think, oh, it's like Japan. You know how Japanese people think? Oh, our currency is weak, like Canadian dollars. If a currency is weak, why bother having a family? No, fucking get her pregnant first, and you quit your job. You find a better job. Now you're motivated because you have more mouths to feed. Nothing lights a fire under your ass more than becoming a father and knowing that you have to take care of somebody else. Or even if you got married, now you know you have to level up. Marco's lazy as fuck. I mean, he's like the typical Latino super fucking lazy person. You try to teach him some entrepreneurial skills. Marco doesn't want to fucking do it. But I'm not going to say the truth if he's a father or not, but he is. But if you're like married another white woman, which I'm going to teach you how to do if you follow instructions, because you're banned for 2 weeks, Marco, for not following it. But if you follow instructions, you marry a white woman, exactly how I told you to, you're going to start to make more money on this side because you'll figure out how to do it. Because sometimes in a marriage, a lot of my students, especially Indian students, the woman will keep saying like, make more money, make more money, make more money, because they want survival value. This has happened to my Toronto student, the Indian guy who got married. His wife is always like, make more money, make more money. She didn't like me at first, but it didn't matter because, he tells her, John's going to help me make more money. And I made him $250,000 a year now in Toronto. The fuck? Now, as engineer, he's making that much money and she's happy. But she knows who I am. Most of the wives, not all of them, but most of the wives know who I am for the students who are married. But that helped him to make more money. He's making more money than ever because of the things I taught him before. When you're married and you got pressure to make more money or you procreated, you're going to fucking find a way to do it. This goes against the mGtOw way. This goes against Red Pill. This goes against all the videos that says marriage is too expensive. I know that sounds crazy. Thank you for giving that like, because this is the truth. If you find yourself in a situation and you have no way and you burn all the fucking boats behind you and you have more mouths to feed, you're a father, you procreated, you passed on the tree of life. There's never a perfect time to be a father. That Indian student, like another one, not this one, a different guy. He's in a different province. He was in Vancouver. This is another Indian student from Singapore. He's going to be a father in 2.5 months. He's going to have a daughter. So half Indian and half something else. Having said that, because he has more mouths to feed, now he's accepting it. He's going to be like, now he's understanding it, that he's not going to beat himself up, but he has to make more money and he has to be better skilled. He does a job in sales. I can teach him how to get better at it, but he needs to be more like attuned. Good morning. So basically, does that make sense? I know that sounds counterintuitive. If she get pregnant first, right, instead of you being Japan and then saying like, oh, you don't want to get married, therefore you don't make enough money, forget about marriage, and then turn mGtOw. No, you fucking get yourself in a relationship with my coaching. Maybe you might get her pregnant if she's like fucking super hot, like some kind of Russian or something like that. And you might accidentally get her pregnant. I'm not saying poke holes in the condoms. I'm never condone anything like that. I'm just saying, if she gets pregnant because you have this magical pull-out method and it doesn't work and she gets pregnant and you say, I'll take care of the kid. Don't worry, I'll take responsibility, right? Besides, Asians and Russians make very cute babies. Yeah, whatever. She might just raise the kid. Or maybe she might leave you alone, right? Or other times, you're joint custody. Now you have to make more money. So that solves the issue, but it doesn't solve everything. It doesn't solve everything. Because this levels you up faster. And waiting keeps you stuck. Action creates momentum. The big idea here is that the most successful men didn't wait for perfect conditions. They created them. For example, if you look at a marketer called Alex Hormozi, right? That guy has $100 million. He got into a relationship first. Then he made more money. He's Alex Hormozi, the guy on the school, right? SKOOL. He created that thing. That guy, he wasn't making much money before. But his girlfriend that he got, she's also Persian like him. They're both Persians. And he looks like a white guy, but he's not. He says that she should leave him because he screwed up in business. And you know what she said to him? That's really nice. She said to him, and I think this is an important message. She says, even if he was completely homeless and lived under the bridge, she would stay there by his side. And he felt like much better. He got the emotional support. And now he makes over $100 million. And that's net income, not just gross. They become richer than ever. Even Grant Cardone, for example, he got married, makes even more money. Sometimes getting married makes you stop thinking about chasing pussy or a mGtOw shit. You get her pregnant or you marry her. Now you're forced to level up. You can calibrate afterwards. That sounds completely counterintuitive to every single thing you've ever believed from mGtOw, because mGtOw says no, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because you don't have enough money, so you can't get married, you can't raise kids. But that's a stupid mindset, because women are thinking the same thing, especially these girl bosses, these boss babes. They're thinking, wait until everything's perfect, she makes more money. But the problem with that, I'll talk about that soon, so stick around. I'll talk about the boss babe and why their mentality is making them single, and why in 2050, 40% of women will be single. So all you mGtOw that are angry at women, trying to get revenge at them, congratulations. These narcissistic women with low self-esteem, and they will only go for a guy, they're super picky, unless he has a university degree like she does and makes more money than her as a boss babe, then they just won't bother. These women will not bother, but they're destroying the tree of life. Don't mind my hair. I just took a shower and then I'm going to be on YouTube Live. I even read the entire script wrong. That I wrote. I reversed the fucking order. I put two scripts together. But today, basically, make more money because they have to focus on discipline their family that they're going to have. They have more responsibilities. Shift your mindset from survival mode to empire building mode. You're like, what are you talking about? Empire building mode. So what happens, even with the other Chinese student, once he got married, even though he's very ungrateful, he doesn't have to help me. He doesn't owe me anything. I don't need his help. His stuff doesn't work anyways in this year or 2024. So I don't need his help. Having said that, he got married and he went to church more and he's still making money. It forces him to level up. He ran like 2 businesses now, not just like teaching marketing, but he's also like building other companies, like AI companies on the side. Having that emotional support is very important. For some people, they might need a wife so they can stop worrying about pussy. You're like, really? That's right. Because if they're always getting laid all the time, they don't have to worry so much about that. They don't have to chase it anymore. They get their emotional support. They're satisfied. Now they can put their energy towards making more money. Maybe that's what some of you need. But of course, you might be thinking, well, what if she takes half of everything that you got? You don't have anything. But I'll talk about that, what you can do. Because some of my students have done this. Okay? So you go into empire building mode. It happened with my former Latino student. He got a girlfriend first. He got her pregnant, right? And he thought he fucked up. But he's a father now. Even though he cheated in 2024 and got laid on the side in 2024, she forgave him. She forgave him because he's 5'11", and he was making more money afterwards. In fact, we should just listen to his story. It's going to make more sense than me trying to explain it. This is important because most mGtOw men thinks they need money first. But this guy didn't have any money back then, but I taught him sales and other high-income skills and business skills. But now the opposite is true, because family responsibility forces you to level up. Now he's making enough money. So waiting keeps you broke. Pressure makes you rich. Alex Hormozy and my own students, for example, they prove it. So if you want to win, you need to act and not wait. You get emotional support too. Also get a prenuptial agreement. Let's hear his testimonial. Because when you listen to it for the Latino student, it actually tells you exactly what he's done, and he's making more money, which is counterintuitive. You would think, oh, he must be making less money because he's married. He's actually making more money. Okay? Let's listen to it quickly. So this is for all the this is for all the mGtOw losers out there that basically doesn't believe in marriage or procreation, but I'm proving the opposite is true, and that you guys should not think about getting enough money first. You will never have enough money because of emotional things and laziness. Just get her fucking pregnant. I'm not saying get her pregnant like accident. I'm just saying if it happens, or get married, and then you make more money. But listen to what he has to say. It's completely, look, I'm not talking on my ass here. My students do get married. They do procreate. Former student in this case. This is like not my opinions as facts. So, right.
Hello, my name is, and I am one of John Elite's former disgraced students. I say that because I was following the teachings of John Elite but eventually I started acting like a zombie.
Yeah.
I was trying to reverse engineer his teachings to what I wanted to do. I wasn't listening to what John was telling me, and eventually it got me kicked out of his program.
Mhm.
And that is something I deeply regret, because all of John Elite's teachings are something that have seriously improved my life in millions of ways. For example, when I first joined John Elite about 3 to 4 years ago, I had nearly no money in the bank and I had $17,000 in debt.
You see that? Like a zombie. $17,000 in debt. You're like, oh, how's it gonna clear $17,000?
$5,000 was student loans and $11,000 was credit card debt. And even though John Elite had to say goodbye to me as a student about like 3 to 4 years ago, I still followed and implemented John's teachings. All of his teachings, how to make money, how to sell things. For example, he gives you a lot of different.
So I taught him sales. He actually paid me to teach him sales years ago. He made quite a lot of money, even for somebody that was in 17K of debt.
Books to read. These are some of those books. The Secret series. He gave me those books. Here's the third one. Traffic Secrets. He gave me all of those books to read. And I read those books and I implemented those books in my own business. And I was able to build a profitable small business.
Yeah, don't mind that kid yelling in the background. That's his son. That's right. He got married, but at the same time, he had a kid first before he got married. A lot of my students, they do the same thing. If they get her pregnant, not all of them marries, but some of them does marry. Other times they don't, and she raises it. But it has happened. Many students have gotten married before.
And I was able to completely erase all of my student loan debt, my credit card debt. I was able to erase everything. And what you're hearing right now outside the door, that is my son. And my woman is out there. And John Elite was able to help me I was just talking to my wife, taking care of my son. So yeah, John Elite, he helped me get married. He helped me reproduce. I have a son now. My son is very handsome and healthy because the woman is very beautiful. And beyond that, John Elite, he also, even though I was removed from the program.
You leave me no choice but to declare you excommunicado. The doors to any service or provider in connection with the Continental are now closed to you.
He still gave me his elite playbook, which helped me practice and drill the things that I needed to do in order to get laid with other women. So
yeah, so even though he's married, he's still banging another woman on the side. If that's the case, sometimes my students do that. I'm not saying all of them do that, but some of them have actually done that. I'm not saying they should do that. I never taught them to do that. It is their life. I just give them the tools. But some has done that. But because my students usually have more SMV than the woman, even though their women is like quite decently attractive. But I teach my students to have so much skills that if she gives any sort of problems to my students, they can just get another fucking same day lay anytime. I'm not saying he's a great student for this guy. He still used the elite playbook. He still got laid in 2024. He had to do more approaches, use more just game. Game is harder. He's not good with the social skills, social calibrations. He washed out of Kaizen program. I don't want to discourage you guys. But because he followed my instructions, he got the woman pregnant. But eventually he still married her. So, and then he's making more money now, as he's going to say. This already debunks mGtOw, men going their own way movement, because they need to learn how to get their dick inside her, get her pregnant by accident. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying if that happens, then they're forced to raise a family, then they have to change. Sometimes you don't have enough motivation to change and make money for some of you because you're zombies. No offense, but some of you guys are such losers that maybe having a family first and then getting married afterwards can actually make you a winner because you don't have to chase pussy. You don't have to think about this. Let's continue.
Right here, I'm going to show you. That's a censored picture of me getting laid with another girl who is not my wife.
Mhm.
And I will send the uncensored picture to John Elite so that he will have the proof that it is me getting laid and not like a fake picture. That's real, right? And also, I'm going to show you my bank account as well as my car, just so you can see that everything that he's saying is true. And all of this is just to say, basically, in a nutshell, John Elite is the absolute best day game cold approach coach in the entire world. And if you want to get laid with cold approach, you need to listen to John Elite. Every single other person in the world has no clue what they're talking about. John Elite is the best coach.
Just because other dating coaches can only get 1 or 2 late testimonials in 2024, mostly 0, does not mean you should quit because I criticize them and you think it's super hard. It's not super hard. You just do what I say, you automatically get laid. If you're a zombie like him, it takes him a little bit longer. But yeah, he still got married, not just getting laid. He got married, he got girlfriend, he got married, he made more money. It just took him a little bit longer because of Latino fuck behavior. But it's possible. Does that make sense? So don't mGtOw this shit. Unquit. And don't get angry because I criticize other coaches and then you quit because your secret backup plan is that you want to go to Latin countries and be a passport bro when you go to Thailand or retire or Latin shithole countries and you want to use Tinder. I'm not saying that automatically you should just discard that as your backup plan and you quit. I'm just saying get laid in the United States first, like him. He got married in the United States. He also got a separate lay in 2024 in the United States. Maybe do that first before you passport bro your life. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to demoralize you. I'm just here to tell you the truth. There's more than one way to solve your problems. If you're worried about making enough money to get married and procreate and have children in the future, he had children first. He got married afterwards, and now he's making more money. So the opposite is true.
He's a freaking genius. He's the only one who came up with the trauma cure therapy, which I also did, and it works 100%. I'm surprised that hasn't won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, it comes with Elite 60. I'm not selling that right now. I'm only selling 3MP bundle. That also comes with it. But for Elite 60, the mental trauma cure program is part of the very beginning of it. And this is a better course for engineers. But I think engineers should take 3MP bundle. But the thing is that you need to, if you're mGtOw, you probably need the mental trauma cure program first. And once you go through it, you can start approaching again. Of course, your cortisol and your loser hormone may take over and you might resist the training. You might run away. Runners are losers. But however, he stopped running away. He started doing it. He got laid on the side, even though his wife knew that he banged another woman. He wasn't mGtOw. Either get her pregnant first, get married first, and then the other way around, then have a kid, and then you start making more money. I know that sounds very counterintuitive. It's like the opposite of mGtOw. Because mGtOw, if you do the mGtOw way, you're going to think about, oh, you better make some money, but you can't save it because you can't split into 5 buckets. Emergency money, self-education, investments, paying the bills, and also play money, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20%. You can't do it because you have no willpower. But you need a motivation maybe to be a father first. But in order to do that, you need some skills. He's been trained before, even though he can be kicked out of the Kaizen program. The Kaizen program has a 100% success rate for everyone that finished it. He couldn't even pass it for 1 fucking week. That's how brutal the program was. But it still got him fucking married. He still made a fuck ton of money with my coaching. I'm not saying like a super lot, but he's made more than he's ever made in his life. He probably has even more now. More than most of you. Don't you see it's the opposite that's true? So this debunks the thing you're thinking, your Japan sort of mentality, which is, oh, because Japan, oh, because the currency is weak, therefore Japanese people think, well, they can't afford marriage because they can't afford to raise a family, so don't bother. Let's turn mGtOw. That's how Japan thinks. But that's the wrong fucking mentality. Get her pregnant first, even if you're in Japan. Get her fucking pregnant first, get married afterwards, and then make some more money on the fucking side, get motivated, and problem solved. Eureka. That's the solution. Don't worry, there's plenty more I'm going to talk about. Stick around. I'm going to talk about the modern women and why they're going to be like 40% single by 2050 with this wrong Japan mentality. Let's continue.
John Elite also came up with all of the cold approach methods that actually work. He breaks everything down to a mathematical.
Yeah, you should not get angry at me because if the other dating coaches can't get people laid and they're posting boot camp clips or some shit and they're recycling it, or the ABC's only got one, and then tall self-proclaimed coach, he might have one or two in 2024. It's not my fault that they're fucking incompetent. Why do you think, because John's criticizing the other coaches, if they can only get one or two students laid or zero, then you should just fucking quit as fast as possible because it's too hard. No, it's not too fucking hard because I have 56 laid in testimonials. It is too fucking easy because my students learn social skills, social You're like, what's that? I'm mGtOw. I don't have any social skill. I'm a sociopath. Full of delusions and ADHD and loser hormone. No, social skills and social calibration is what makes the world go around. Without social skills, because of lockdowns, people lost their social skills. 63% of men become like fucking single. All of a sudden, because of that fucking 2 years of the lockdowns, or 1 year, that Fauci guy, because of that 1 year of that fucking lockdown, everyone bench-choded and lost their fucking minds. Social skills is the most important. That's what gets the students laid with social calibrations. Like, where can you learn this power? You can drill it down with my coaching, my mental filter. I can look at your mistakes. I can correct it in real time. And then guess what happens after that? Once I correct it, and you're delusional, or you cannot see your mistakes, I tell you, don't worry. I have a 27-second audio that yells at your brain. You open up your mental filter, you see all the mistakes, and you're like, you can correct it. Make sense? Easy. So?
Science. There's just so much I could say about him, but the most important thing I could say is he really knows what he's talking about. It works, and this is my testimonial of John Elite Services. If you want to get laid, you need to listen to him too.
Let's not talk about that topic. Let's continue.
So as you can see, here's my hand, so you can see there's no Photoshop, right? There's my name.
Here's his bank account.
And here's my account. I'm going to scroll so you can see there's no...
I had to censor it for him because all the details on there. But when he was $17,000 in debt, I teach him how to clear his fucking debt. I said, do not use Biden's fucking student loan forgiveness plan. You work your way out of the debt. I'll teach you sales. He paid me to learn sales. Now he has like 44,000. He probably even has more now. He's probably up to like 70,000 or 60 something thousand, 70,000 by now. Probably. Was the training worth it? He paid me for Kaizen before, and he paid me for Elite Access. Even though he was a bad student, he also got Elite Bundle too. I mean, no, he got like Elite 30, and he also got Elite Access, and then he got Kaizen. Having said that, he was a bad student. But it caught up to him because he trained with me. He invested in himself. He got his girlfriend pregnant. And the reason why she stayed with him is because he was making more money, and I taught him how to do it. Every single time he has a victory, he'll put it on the wall and she can see it. Then at first she didn't want to have sex with him. But then the more money he started making, the more she had sex with him because she's seeing that he's husband material. He starts dressing husband material. Does that make sense? He dressed more whitewashed. And then she became more interested. She got pregnant eventually.
Photoshop. This is my checking account that I just used. And this is my savings account. I have $43,000. I have 3 credit cards. No balance on any of them. And my only loan I have is on my car, which is a Maserati. And I'm going to show you this. This is proof. I drive a Maserati Gran Turismo.
I don't know what a Maserati is. I'm not like a car guy. I'm Chinese, right? I'm the first person to crash into everything, right? The whole idea that Chinese people cannot drive, I think is true. I think it's true because we're too smart and we think too much. We're too logical, not very emotional. And the first thing we're going to do is do fucking math and geometry in real time and get distracted. And then we crash into things. Like, you want to see the car accidents in BC? Just go to fucking Richmond, right? Where all the Asians are. There's your car accident. But I don't know what Maserati Gran Turismo is.
John Elite. I know my hair is not in the pompadour style right now, but that's because I just got out the shower. Here's my car. It's the Maserati. I'm telling the truth, bro. I promise.
Hey, do you know that most day game... Do you see that? So he actually did the opposite. That means it debunks mGtOw. Rather than just say, oh, economic stress, and become like a fat cortisol full fuck, right? Who's a complete zombie, ADHD, who basically cannot save money and split the money up. I had to teach him how to split his money up so that way he can actually save and pay off his student loan debt and pay off his credit card debt. Does that make sense? I taught him how to clear his debt. Why's my fucking hair like that? Okay. It didn't matter. I just took a shower and I wasn't going to be here today, but I had to get this message out there. That means you should not turn mGtOw and think, oh, you might as well quit because you don't have enough money to get married and have children one day in the future. So you might as well just quit hardcore and just forget about it. Let's just quit completely. I think that's the wrong mindset. I think you should just get her pregnant, get married, or maybe get married and get her pregnant, and then you're forced to make more money. That's what you should be doing. The opposite of what mGtOw is teaching you. The opposite of what Japan is doing when they're just quitting. Oh, because of economic stress. Well, guess what? People become very resilient when they have to have more mouths to feed and they're a father, just like my other Indian student who's going to be a father very soon. He has more mouths to feed, and then he's learning how to make more money. So, back from the gym. Yeah, exactly. More. I was just talking about how people should get her pregnant first, and then get married afterwards. And then when they have to raise a kid, they're going to make more money. That's their motivation. Rather than the opposite mGtOw, which is, oh, got to make money first. And then when you have enough money, then you can get married and then you can raise a family. No. Just fucking get her pregnant. I'm not saying poke holes in the condoms or anything like that. Or if she's hot, just don't use it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying in case she gets pregnant or you get married, then you just fucking make more money because you don't have to think about chasing pussy all the time. That's what happened with my students. I'm just telling you what happened with them. This is universal. It's not just one student. Other students start making money once they get married. There are some times when it's tougher, because money matters a lot, but then they start making some money afterwards. So the second secret is that women who chase careers first, right? Here's the truth. You ever see those mGtOw videos? I'm sure most of you haven't. But some of you who have turned mGtOw because I criticized ABCs of low self-esteem and their Tinder and their passport, bro. I know some of you, this is your backup plan. Tinder is your backup plan. So if I criticize Tinder, you're going to quit. Or if I criticize going to Latin countries, your backup plan, you're going to quit. Because everything Johnny Elite says becomes law. Because I have the most students laid for pickup, everything I say become law. But it doesn't mean that you should just quit because I criticize Latin countries. What I'm trying to say is you should get laid in the United States first. And then you can go to the passport bro countries. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. Because if I say just fuck their backup plan, then you're just going to quit. But you should not have a plan B. For me, maybe I'm crazy or something. I literally cut out every single course, including Elite 60. I burn all the boats behind me. There is no other courses except for Elite Bundle 2, I mean. And even an Indian person is asking me, how much is your course? Is that the right course? I say, it's $1,000. And he goes, can you give me some free advice to get laid? I was like, oh, fuck's sakes. I told him, I'm not teaching any Indians from India. Because they're poor scumbags with ADHD. Poor fucking scum of the earth. Free advice now, right? I knew he couldn't afford it, but he's asking me, what courses do you train? Elite bundle 2? Oh, but I can't afford it. It's like, of course you can't. Your rupees is worthless. Worthless. You guys have to invest in yourself. So, as I'm saying, women that chases careers first, waiting for the perfect man, right, often end up alone. As women gets older, their standards, they stay high, but their options start to shrink. Older women do have that specific older woman look. You know what I'm talking about? For white women in general, they actually age a lot faster. Asians, they don't age, right? I mean, I'm Asian myself, right? I still have my hair over here. And, I can still pass for younger. We don't physically age for some of us. We're all like Halle Berry or something. We just refuse to fucking age. Having said that, okay, most white women, this is why I don't like older white women in general. And the good thing about 18-year-old white girls is that they stay 18 forever. No, I was just joking. But what I'm saying is that most guys like younger women with less baggage. Even in China, the older women, they're leftover women, they're super picky. They have to say to the guy, they have to give a dowry of $200,000 to her to marry her. And the guy saying, why should he spend the money on her? So they turn mGtOw. Why not just go after a younger woman or maybe marry like a Russian woman instead? And that's what they're doing. They're becoming mGtOw. And I'm not saying that's the right method, but I'm saying women do have some responsibility because men tend to look for younger women, especially when you have more resources. The younger women will find you more attractive during this inflation. Luckily, he's gone tomorrow. With less baggage inherited, women in their late 20s should secure a quality man instead of gambling on their youth lasting forever until the conditions are perfect. I saw this woman says like, oh yeah, if she wait 5 more years, she's like 29, then she can have like designer babies or something. And her dad is like saying that he doesn't want to put pressure on her. He doesn't want to put pressure, but he does not care about designer babies. He just wants a normal baby. And what they're knowing, like modern women, is that the narcissistic personality types, the ones who says that they don't need no man, they're the boss babes, they're the girl boss. And here's the truth about girl bosses. I learned from women in marketing for this year, especially the 5-1 strategy when I burn all the boats behind me. Most women, 1.2% of them are millionaires. So you're saying most women cannot make more than $1 million? Most of them cannot make more than $1 million. So women with their irrationality and their relative SMV, over like fucking 98 point something percent of them cannot make over $1 million. So they're irrational. So I only learn from the women that can make over like, who's a 7 figures. Some of them are like 3 million to 10 million. That's what I learned from. They're the only ones their advisor was the only one that made me money last year, which is strange. So one of them says I should just have a strategy called the 5 1s. Only focus on one audience, which is level 2. Only focus on one product or bundle, elite bundle 2. Focus on one platform. I know TikTok, they've taken it down, which is YouTube, right? That's why I'm on here more. I have cut out all the other platforms, podcasting, fucking Facebook, even though I still post videos from YouTube from there. They say one audience, one offer. You get it? It's like 5 1s. That's a strategy. It sounds completely insane because I burn all the boats behind me. But for modern women, the biggest mistake they're making is that they should try to secure a man in their late 20s because they're gambling on their youth. By the time they make it over like 30 years old, they might not think so. They might not think there's a wall. But I'm telling you, in China, because Chinese people are the most narcissistic people in the world, next to Indians. These are the 2 ethnicities with the narcissistic personality disorder. So whatever happens in China will happen around the world because the women are the most narcissistic. There's no arranged marriages there. So having said that, if the women are so narcissistic over there and they're like, oh, they will not go for a man, that's why they call it leftover women in China. They have a lot of women that are in their 30s, they're left over and no guy wants them anymore. They rather go with a younger woman instead who does not demand a dowry of $200,000 China is all full of leftover women, but they're so picky. And now the West is becoming like that. The West is like, the women are so picky. Here's the thing. If she's graduated from like university, like Stanford or something, then she's going to want a man who graduated from university. If she's making more money, then she's going to want a man to make more money. If she's on like social media with clout, she's going to want a man with clout. Now she's going to lose all her options. By the time it's going to be like, she's going to be 33, 34, she's not going to be married. She's gone. She's she's just going to get pets and stuff. And this is not to sound like mGtOw or red pill. This is the truth. So women have the same strategy that you guys are having. They're thinking unless they make enough money. I mean, if a boss babe, right, or the girl boss, if they make enough money and they still get married, good for them. I applaud that. I think that's the right method. But in case they make so much money and no guy wants them and they don't give a fuck about how much money she makes, I feel sorry for her. Or she thinks she's so great that she has to be picky. And then the guy thinks to themselves, so what do you have to offer? She has nothing to offer. And the chads that she's looking for, you always see in these mGtOw videos, they don't want to fucking settle with a narcissistic woman who has, like, the thing is that when you look at these videos, and I don't watch mGtOw videos, but I had some research because I have a second browser called Brave on the cell phone, so I don't watch ads. But what keeps popping up for me is these mGtOw videos. So that's why I know about this topic a little bit. I see it. So I have some research into the topic. But you always see these women complaining, the older women, that they're invisible to men. That is true. Because you should not wait until the conditions are perfect. The women's strategy, just like men should try to get her pregnant first, get married, then they make a lot more money. Women should try to get pregnant in her late 20s. She's a mother. The guy makes more money. And then that way they procreate. Even if she procreate earlier, and that's good. That grows a tree of life. When she gets older, it's harder to get pregnant. And even if she gets pregnant, she might have complications. Because the older she is, the more likely there might be something that may happen to the baby. Maybe that happened to one of my students before. You know, complications do happen with older women, unfortunately. You guys don't realize it. Like, it's like a certain percentage. I forgot. Like 20% of it happens, 15% of it happens. But what I'm trying to say is that women should not gamble in their youth. They should just get married quickly, have kids. And even if they say they wish they had it like later, I would say that's a bad idea. Because most of the time, if they try to become a boss babe, they're going to lose the opportunity and they're going to become a discarded woman, like the women that are in the China. And in Japan, they have the same mentality as the mGtOw, which is marriage is too expensive, raising a family is too expensive, don't even bother. Quit. It's the wrong mentality. You need to unquit. Give it a thumbs up. You guys are learning something. You need to unquit. You need to get fucking married first or get her fucking pregnant. In case you're like a Christian or something, Jesus can always forgive you if you repent. If that's your objection. It's very unrealistic these days, automatically, that women are going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to save sex till marriage. People don't have that kind of willpower. Things have changed. But Jesus will always forgive. You repent, then you get married. You make more money, then you have kids. Then you no longer have to think about chasing pussy. It's that simple. And you're like, well, John, you're a pickup artist and you teach people how to day game and same day lay, but a lot of my students, they're married. So why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? The main thing to understand here is that the boss babe or girl boss mindset makes women delay marriage. For some of them, it worked out. They still procreated. But think about all the ones that did not work out. The guy left, and now she cannot find another guy as she goes back into the dating market, thinking they always have options. Women are really that delusional. It's not to sound like an angry red pill. Women are so fucking delusional. They're not sentient. They're like AI. They don't actually have sentience. Like I told you, this is female nature. This is not red pill. I have the most students laid for pickup. I know what the female nature is. Looks out of 10, money out of 5. Money's only out of 5, guys. It's not like fucking that much. Status is out of 10. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control game, 2.5 points each. 20 out of 35. She's always thinking 20 out of 35. So if you're mGtOw and you start hunching and you're unconfident and you're angry, then she's going to look at that and then lower your fucking score, burning the DVD of what she remembers from the interaction. Make sense? She's going to remember that. So that's why it's important not to turn mGtOw and to continue to date. And if she gets pregnant, so be it. At least this way it can force you to be in a family. And yeah, so what do you do afterwards? You know, you might be thinking, well, what the fuck? What if she takes half of everything you own? But yeah, women become pickier. So women always are looking for relative SMV. mGtOw stop trying because they don't have resilience. It forces you to level up in certain areas. Ask yourself, if you're mGtOw, who should unquit, will you date yourself? If you will not date yourself, if you're a woman, then ask yourself, what do you need to fix of the 20 out of 35? Maybe you need to work on more money. Maybe you need to work on your fashion. Maybe you need to work on better social skills or emotional control. What is it that you're missing? Maybe you need to take more supplements like ashwagandha, reduce your cortisol. You might need some more anti-estrogen pills to get more testosterone. You might need to work out. You might need to work on yourself. You might need to learn some more skills, invest in your skills to make more money. What do you need to work on? If women were not like that for female nature, most guys would not try. Seriously, if they could just bang living in a fucking cardboard box, men would do that, but they can't. Unfortunately, I'm not saying clout is everything or red pill clout is everything. Is not anything for my students. They don't have clout. But what I'm saying is that women, the boss babes, and the ones who are picky, saying they know what they deserve. If they're university graduate, just like Chinese women that are university graduates, the guys with the economic stress, they don't have enough money to go to university, and then they're discarded. These women are actually making it harder when they take on masculine roles. Hope that makes sense. So these women by 2050 are going to be discarded. So mGtOw might be thinking, yes, 2050, most of these women, they're just going to give up and be single and have a bunch of cats for emotional support. Lonely women have pets. Lonely women will always like smile, even though she doesn't feel happy. You know, they'll always have pets. Cat ladies. It's not like a bullshit thing. It's just, and then they'll eventually start celebrating on TikTok. I'm glad they shut down that fucking thing. They'll try to bring it back. They'll start, the narcissistic women are on TikTok talking badly about men. Most women are not like that. These are the vocal minorities. These people will be wiped out of evolutionary psychology. Most of these narcissistic women are going to be wiped out. Having said that, what I'm trying to tell you is that studies have shown that high-earning women become pickier, rejecting men without degrees or high status, or making less money than her. In reality, the wall is real. This is one thing that I agree with mGtOw. She will hit a wall, but they're blaming the wrong women. The women that usually are woke and the ones you see on TikTok, they have very thin, narrow jawlines. It looks like a football shape universally. Just look at them. Look at all the women that get angry at people after Donald Trump won the election. They always have a football face. It's not because TikTok, because they're vertical. They have a very thin fucking jawline. Vertical face. Like you can grab her fucking jawline here with one hand. If that's the case, they can't even afford to eat. They're not even healthy. They have no money, and they're just swiping on Tinder all day, going through a bunch of guys. Not all women do that. Most women are looking for a relationship. They're not like guys. They're not always thinking about how to procreate more. They're trying to secure a guy. Does that make sense? Women are always trying to secure a guy. They might only have like 6 or 7 life partners, and then they get married. But if she doesn't get married before 30, she might lose out. And this is happening to more women. This is happening a lot more. But the ones who are narcissistic and go through a lot of guys, and they're super picky, but she sleeps with a bunch of guys with a high body count. And she says, oh, she's picky, and she can't find any man that she likes. She's looking for a guy who's like super rich, tall, 6-pack, all these things that she doesn't even have, but she knows she deserves it. Those women with narcissism is genetic. She's going to be weeded out anyways. Don't go for those women. Just look for the football shape. Avoid them. They're not marriage material. These woke women. Go for the ones who have a little bit of a jawline that shows that they actually eat food and they're conservative and they're Donald Trump supporters. The ones who actually eat meat, not from fucking vegetarian, who basically doesn't give a fuck how much money you make, who still wants to have a family, who's conservative. They're the ones that you should be looking for. Because if 40% of the women are going to be single in 2050, then why not go for the 60% that's not going to be like that as a conservative, who are anti-woke, who does not have a football-shaped face? They're the ones that you want to get pregnant. I'm just saying, of course, do it ethically. She may get pregnant by accident. I didn't say poke holes in the condoms or do anything like that, or not use condoms like a lot of my students who are sociopaths. They don't use condoms, by the way, for sociopaths. And then she gets pregnant because their magical pull-out method. Oh, it's going to work, John. It's going to work. It's like, are you sure about that? Congratulations. This is why a lot of sociopathic people that are a little bit taller, for my students, they become fathers and the women don't want them abort because they have a little bit of looks. They're a little bit tall. They have some decent looking race, perceived race. And then she's going to say, oh, it's just a miracle. The baby is a miracle. And then she will not abort ever because she wants to pass off some good genes. And if the students have more SMV than her, she will never fucking leave. They can literally cheat on her. I'm not saying that they should do that. Not all my students do that, but if they do cheat on her, she doesn't care. She'll just look the other way. You should try to get her pregnant or get married first. And then you start making more money afterwards. Or if she's pregnant, you have a kid coming. And then all of a sudden, you have to become a father. Then now you have to get a better job, make more money on the side. And that solves all the problems. It's the opposite of mGtOw, opposite of Japan. Make money first, marriage later. It'll never happen because you're too lazy. If you're mGtOw, you have low self-esteem, full of cortisol, just get her fucking pregnant first. So how do they do that if they don't try? You have to try. You have to try. And if you get married and you're worried that she's going to take half your shit and you don't even have any fucking money, that's the problem. You don't have any fucking money. Is that get a fucking prenuptial agreement. Some of my students have prenups. You're like, really? If you guys need a lawyer, just use my lawyer, right? The Indian psychopath. Most of the Indians are sociopaths, but get an ironclad prenup written out and just tell her, listen, if we're going to get married, I don't want half of my everything gone or lose custody. Sign this and you get married right away. If they have a problem with that, the door is that way. Okay, but you procreate it. Oh, you don't want to pay child support. But, however, if she signs it, then great. You should write on it not to gain weight, to keep having sex, and that you still own whatever you bring into the relationship, and you still have custody. Get ironclad prenup and stand your fucking ground. Now, this whole red pill shit is gone. It's not like, oh yeah, red pill. All these red pill coaches, they're all married. Every single person that's into red pill are the first ones to get married all the time. Universally. Look at all the coaches that red pill. Every single one of them, except for one of them, are all married. Every single one with ugly women. Even the people that are my students that are red pilled, they're always married. Every single one of them are married. So therefore, red pill equals faster marriage. I don't know why. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So that's modern women for you. They have the wrong strategy. They should try to get married in their late 20s and procreate fast. Even though they might say, oh, I wish I had them later. No, it's the best time to have kids when you're younger. Because later on, she won't have the opportunity. And most likely, she wouldn't even have gotten married. And she wouldn't even have procreated. Don't miss your opportunity. That's to the women. A lot of women, the modern women these days, are going to miss their opportunity. And they're going to cry on TikTok and say, why don't any other men approach her when she's older? Because the structure of the faces of older women looks different. You look at the movie The Substance. When Demi Moore splits herself in two, she takes injects some kind of substance, and now she has a younger version of herself, and then to keep giving nutrition to the other one, just to be able to do that. And the older woman, Demi, in that movie, does not have any male attention anymore. And the guy that likes her and calls her beautiful, he has low SMV. She ignores him. The younger one gets the validation. Does that make sense? But that's the wall. The wall is true. It's not just something like, oh, Red Pill said this. Like, the wall is actually real because it's happening in China too. So women should try to get married as soon as possible and to give up their stupid girl boss fucking, oh, we went to university, so a guy has to mentality. Because they're picky, they deserve a guy like them. They'll never find a guy like them when they're narcissistic. Seriously, modern women that are narcissistic, that goes on social media and starts complaining about men and how they are picky, are the first ones to not procreate. They're weeded out of evolutionary psychology. The second one who's weeded out is the mGtOw. These two are weeded out. It's a lose-lose situation. And they might complain. mGtOw might say, like, oh, they're the fastest growing movement. No, this is narcissism, the inflation, economic stress. They're quitting at the same time. That's what's happening. This is a stupid strategy. Get pregnant first. Then you'll worry about the money afterwards. Problem solved. Problem solved. That's what works for my students. So like I said, by 2050, 40% of women will be single due to narcissism, high ego, low self-esteem. They suffer from the 4 traits. Number 1, delusions. I mean, it is fucking delusional to think that she can find a guy automatically, that he has to always have a Ivy League university like her. Number 2, her half-assing things is just using Tinder and going through a lot of guys and then say, oh, you can't find the Chad that she wants. Number 3, she's going to make the wrong path to sociopath, because women are not sentient in my experience, my teaching experience. I've never seen any women out there that are sentient. It's almost like Adam and Eve. Adam is sentient. Eve is not, until she eats the apple. Right? They have some awareness, but she's so busy thinking about 20 out of 35. Looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control game, 2.5 points. She's so busy thinking about that all the time. She's not sentient. That means every single second she looks at you, she's thinking about your relative SMV. And all the mGtOw people, the losers, they're not even fucking trying to level up their video game character. You have to be the main character, not just an NPC in life giving up. Right? Will you date yourself if you're a woman? No. Then fix those fucking issues of the 20 out of 35. Fix those issues. Make sense? But it's not about money first. It's about relationship first, marriage first, procreating first, and then you make the money afterwards. That's what happens to my students. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's how you're going to save the tree of life. So besides number 3, the wrong decision, which is she's going to postpone getting married until later on because she's a boss babe, a girl boss. And guess what happens? She's like already now 34. No guy wants her. She breaks up with her boyfriend. Now she's more sad than ever. He's with a younger woman. And then she's like older and no guy will even approach her. She's wondering why the guy's not approaching, because of mGtOw, because they have this stupid fucking strategy. Procreate first and then make more money later on instead of just giving up or blaming Johnny Elite because, oh, John made fun of ABCs in Latin America, passport bros and Tinder. That's your backup plan. That's not your fucking backup plan. Get laid in the United States first with my coaching. Then you can be a passport bro if you want to. But first, get laid here. And modern women don't fucking exist. My students don't experience modern women because they already have the value. They dress well. They're whitewashed. They have good social skills. They have good whitewash tonality. They don't experience the modern women because they already submitted to the 20 out of 35. They don't experience it. They don't even know what modern women is. They get married and they procreate. So these guys need a gym member. Oh, for fuck's sakes. It's not just a member. Listen, if you keep promoting your Asian masculinity shit here, muscles did not work for ABC students. That's why they're quitting. They could not get their students laid in the West. Only Latin countries. But muscles, with all the other good-looking coaches, they're just on Tinder. They're just getting dates. This is making people quit. The more I insult ABCs, the other Asian dating coaches, the more people quit. Because if it's so hard for them, they're going to think, oh, if it's so hard for Asians from the other Asian coaches, then they have no chance. No, you train with Johnny Elite, you beat everybody else, and I get more late testimonials. That's how it is. Learn social skills, social calibrations. They're Asperger's. They don't understand. You don't fucking quit because I criticize them and just think, oh, backup plan. You go for plan A. Fuck plan B. I don't have a plan B. If I'm only selling Elite Bundle 2, it does not work. There is no plan B. So I'm going to make it work. Just like when you get married and you procreated, then you fucking make it work. There is no plan B. There's just plan A. So if you get a woman pregnant, eventually you marry her, you have the kid, you make more money because you're motivated, because you want to raise a family. There is no plan B. Everyone's thinking about their plan B. Fuck your plan B. Fuck your plan B. Don't mGtOw this shit and be like Japan saying, oh, marriage too expensive, whatever. No, just fucking procreate, get this over with, make some more money, have a prenuptial agreement. Have a prenuptial agreement. Let's just play the testimonial of one of my other students. Okay? This is just random. I shouldn't even be on here. Today, I just want to get the message out there because I need people to stop quitting or unquit. So my other student, I have to fast forward a little bit because he says his name here. I don't know why, but okay. Recent. Right. Okay, I'll fast forward just a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't say his name here.
Those things you just have to get solved, especially as an Asian guy. You know, it's not something that comes naturally. It's not like a group of girls that's naturally into you in high school and stuff. Or even if there was, it's not something that just falls into your lap. You have to take active measures to get your problems fixed. And you know what it is with Asian guys most of the time? It's not even like lack of confidence. It's not even like lack of effort. Because God knows we know how to put effort into things. We don't mind doing random things like cold approach that take a lot of confidence to do. It's lack of skill. It's all about tonalities and the vibe that you can.
Yeah, tonality, social skills, social calibrations. He's talking about a lot of truth here. He's married. I was going to post his video testimonial, but no one gave a shit because they're turned mGtOw. They're ignoring like over 45 fucking testimonials, including preview ones. They're just ignoring everything. I was wondering why. It turns out when I was attacking these global game platform scammer networks, the blowback from that was insulting ABCs and other tall self-proclaimed coaches or other people because they got so few students late for day game. It actually exposed day game as being harder for the zombies. I'm not a fucking zombie. I don't teach zombies. I teach people like this social skills, and they get laid nonstop for my students and married and stuff. If that's the case, and they're getting married, then they're thinking, well, they're zombies because they have no social skills. These mGtOw people, they're delusional. They're number one, delusional and half-assing it. Number two, the wrong path to sociopath quitting. And number four, mGtOw quitting. They have the wrong fucking mindset. You don't fucking quit. Motherfucker, you unquit right now. You unquit. You get the fuck back in there, get her pregnant, marry her, get a prenup. And then when you're a father, now you can work harder and now you make more money. All of your problems are solved. He actually, at first, when he got married, he didn't make that much money. Now he's making money again. You get it? A little bit of motivation. A little bit of motivation. He almost got divorced, but no, she's not going to leave him because he has skills. And he's not short. He has some value. And he's taught by me. So his wife knows who I am. They went to Vancouver and they invited me out for lunch, but I was too busy. I was learning a copywriting course. I invested in myself. But however, saying that, you know, he's married. He's Chinese. And he's making some money now. He solved the problem. He was struggling before. Sometimes you need a good partner to emotionally push you forward so you don't have to think about chasing pussy all the time. Then you can add to the tree of life. When he becomes a father, that'll be great.
Trade to the girl. What John helped me realize, this is so important. It's not about whether you feel confident. It's not about what you think is good. What you think is good means absolutely nothing in regards to your success or failure in dating. It's all about how you come across to the girl. It's as if like they have a camera, you're performing in front of a camera. It's all about like how your actions come across to the other person. So all I'm saying is this.
Yeah, he's saying you have to be socially calibrated. Everything's already calibrated. So for him, because he's Chinese, he always thinks like what he feels on the inside, if he feels confident, it doesn't mean it shows up on the outside. You look at these former ABC coaches and their shitty teaching and their students and also even ABCs. Their students are super autistic. They have no idea what they're doing on the outside. They're completely Dunning-Kruger effect. They have no idea what their weak points are and they think they have great day game content. They're fucking retarded. They only have like testimonials that are written testimonials. It's all fucking like, I'm just saying, in my opinion, it seems like completely sus. Completely sus. My students are not like actors. They're not actors. The reason why he took so long to make this video testimonial was because his wife knew that, I asked if she wanted to be in the video and say hi to me. He still made a video saying hi. He just said Happy New Year. Hi. He didn't say it was John. So I still have that clip. He gave it to me. But she was the one who delayed it. She knew that I was going to make a video testimonial. These are not actors. These are real people. I know his wife. I know her name. She knows who I am. In fact, I was even there when he proposed to her, when I was training him in business. He made $1.6 million with my training. He lost it all. And he fucked me over. We had a contract, but it doesn't matter. I forgive him that. We had a contract. We split like 60-40. If I teach him how to make money, he made 1.6 million sales. He must be closing some big deals. I didn't see a single fucking penny of that, but it's okay.
You don't know what you don't know. And you don't want to struggle for years and years. And, I mean, it's good for your spirit. It's good for your aura to like bang your head against the wall and not give up. But if you want results quickly, you gotta just learn from John, because nobody else even is touching on these topics. There's no other dating coach even touching on this stuff. Like, come on. There's guys like Todd Valentine, RSD.
Anyone that tries to say my testimonials are fake, you'll be defaming my name without proof, defaming my character, and that's slander and that's libel. So anyone that's doing that, you should watch the fuck out, because my lawyers are looking at you and your content, and we're collecting all the evidence. Watch your fucking mouth. You have no proof that this is fake. Like ABC's coaches or other people like mGtOw haters, you call it fake. You're defaming my name, because this is what really happened. It took a while to get this video testimonial. I had to call him out. Like, where the fuck are you making a video testimonial? Are you being ungrateful? Like the other Chinese guy who got married. He said, no, his wife told him like to delay it. And he made the video anyways. All real. Every single one. Real. Assholes.
Dime a dozen. They all say the same stuff that doesn't work if you actually do cold approach. If you actually like are out there hustling in the zone. You know it doesn't work. You know it doesn't work. You need to get faded hair. You need to dress well. You need to have tonality. Everything he says is correct. You literally just need to follow his advice. And I promise you, you're going to get results. Happily married. Now I'm on the grind to get money. So that's why I don't really give a shit about all this other stuff, like appearance and stuff anymore. I got that aspect taken care of. It's harder for Asian guys in America. Just get this aspect taken care of so you can move on to bigger and better things. That's what life is all about. Leveling up. You just got to level up. Move on to bigger and better things.
Did you hear that message?
Hey, what's up?
Hear it again. Listen to what he just said. This is what mGtOw does not understand. What did he just say that was so important?
To have tonality. Everything he says is correct. You literally just need
Listen.
to follow his advice.
Give it a thumbs up.
You're going to get results. Happily married. Now I'm on the grind to get money. So that's why I don't really give a shit about all this other stuff.
So he's happily married. Now he's focused on money instead. Now he's finally making money again. He was struggling before. Now he can...
like appearance and stuff anymore. I got that aspect taken care of. It's harder for Asian guys in America. Just get this aspect taken care of.
He's saying it's harder, and a lot of people are quitting when I criticize ABCs that cannot get students laid in America. Neither can their other coaches or good-looking Korean coaches. Not even for fucking Tinder. I get it, but that doesn't reflect on my coaching. You cannot just say, oh, because it's harder for all the other Asians, for every other company out there, then you should just quit. No, you should join Johnny Elite and learn social skills. That's what you don't get. You don't fucking quit because I criticize. That's not your backup plan. You're not here to go to ABCs or other coaches. Fuck them. They don't know what they're talking about. I do. Why the fuck are you quitting? Because I criticize other coaches? Because that's what people voted for. Believe it or not. If we look at the community section, just listen carefully.
We can move on to bigger and better things. That's what life is all about. Leveling up. You just got to level up. Move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly. So if that's taken care of, but let's look at the votes here. All right? Let's look at the votes. So, all right. So let's look at the votes. Okay, this is why I wrote. Is it telling you that other dating coaches only have like one late testimonials day game or two in 2024? Did that demoralize you that there are stuff that does not work anymore except for mine? I have 56 late and po testimonials day game last year. They mostly just have Tinder stuff, and sometimes in third world countries, Latin countries, right? So the first vote is yes, it totally deflated me and turned mGtOw. 25% voted for that. Of course, the votes may change. The next one says no, your system is the only one that works then. 50% voted for that. There's only 4 votes, by the way. The next person says, quit. You criticize Latin country passport bros, my backup plan. You see that? You shouldn't quit because I insulted your backup plan. The last one, you criticize Tinder, made me quit, saying it's not pickup. Nobody voted for that. So do you see a pattern here? I was demoralizing people because I'm telling you guys the truth, but indirectly, as I'm criticizing the platform scammers, the global game networks, you all of a sudden you fucking quit. Why? Don't fucking quit. Do what my students did and get fucking married. Get married, and then that way you can put off having kids and make some more money first, or you can just get her pregnant, get married, and make a lot more money. Either way works. My students always make more money when they're married. I don't know why, but they just make more money. They have more mouths to feed. They have more obligations. If you're lazy, you're a zombie, then fucking get married first. Just get married first. Give it a thumbs up. So having said that, these women are suffering from number 1, delusions, number 2, half-assing it with Tinder, number 3, the wrong path, the sociopath, fails when she turns like 30 years old, and quitting. Most women will quit dating once they get older. And they'll just say they're happy being single. Women thinks it's all relative SMV, emotional reasoning first, right? 20 or 35, then emotional reasoning. That's why women are not rational. And logic is last. The only time women give logical stuff is when they're dealing with objections. Whether it's last minute resistance, which my students do not experience because they have the arrow science. Maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum, deal with the fucking sexual objections. However, does that kind of make sense? So I'm just getting headache from the other student, right? Because he's kind of possessed. So it's affecting my mentality. I'm psychic. So having said that, like I said, women are like AI. They have relative SMV, emotional reasoning, and then logic is last. They cannot predict the future. No matter how many mGtOw videos you make of women hitting the wall, they still would look at it, they'll dismiss it, and they'll continue doing whatever they're doing. Narcissistic women, not conservative women. They'll get married as soon as possible. And they'll have kids as soon as possible. That's what you want. You don't want like a football-shaped woman's head who is poor, woke, and they have narcissistic facial expressions and 60% makeup. You don't want those type of women. Those are discarded women. They just don't know it yet. They will not find the Chad that they're looking for. No man wants to deal with a woman like her. They don't know they're narcissistic. They have no awareness. Just like zombies have no awareness when they turn mGtOw, or they're delusional because of the fucking inflation. Inflation has ruined the fucking society so badly that you guys quit. It's like down to the last fucking day before Biden's gone. And he still did a number on your mindset and your cortisol. He's in his last fucking days, you guys are still quitting. And Johnny Lee, me, the world's best day game coach, because I criticize other companies, is making you fucking quit because you think it's too hard. No, it's too fucking easy. How the fuck did these guys get married? Of course, you say, well, they're taller. That's why they got married. Because they're taller. No, I'll show you like a 5'4" Indian who got married. So, the third secret is that waiting until you're rich before marriage is a losing strategy, especially with the binflation. Wrecking everything, mGtOw, men going their own way. And day gamers who quit and they think eventually they're ready. But the inflation keeps rising, and most of you will never be fucking ready. You need to get her pregnant first and calibrate afterwards. By the time they realize it, it's already too late. You become like Japan, like China. Inflation already wiped out years of the economic progress. Good thing he's gone tomorrow. And waiting won't make it better. Men who delay marriage in hopes to make it first will just keep falling behind. You'll never make enough money because you can't wait to spend it because you're depressed and you have low self-esteem. You're just going to waste the money. Women do the same, thinking they don't need a man until reality hits. and they're super picky. If they have a university degree and men don't have that because of economic stress, then she will not marry a guy that does not have a university degree. And their options disappear. Due to the cortisol stress of the winner-loser effect, she becomes more woke with the stupid mindset. She's going to delay marriage and delay having kids, and she's going to lose out. She doesn't know it. Even if you tell her, she watched every single mGtOw video or red pill, she's still going to do it because women are not logical. They're not even sentient. They just think about relative SMV all day. And they're spoiled with narcissism. All because men are losing their social skills. That's what I teach. So instead of quitting and saying, oh, game tactics doesn't work. Yeah, game tactics don't fucking work. But social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, I don't understand. I'm a zombie, John. Too fucking bad. That's what I'm teaching. I call it day game skills. Learn the skills. There's 7.5 points. If you win, you get more testosterone. If you lose, you get more cortisol. So that's lowering your self-esteem so much that the 4 traits, the last one, is quitting and turning mGtOw. So even if the inflation is over next year, I think the inflation will be improved during the summertime. You rob yourself out of building the tree of life. Like, what do you mean? You rob yourself because you quit. Every single month, you're not training with the John Elite. Every month, you get more cortisol. You become more mGtOw. You become more fat, like all of them. When the cortisol hits, you ain't gonna do shit. Hope that makes sense. You're not gonna do shit. You're just gonna quit hardcore. Now you have robbed yourself because once you quit, you never come back. Once you quit, you never come. I've never seen anybody actually come back from mGtOw, except for black students who have some SMV and they train under me. They trust me. Then they reactivate. One Indian student, now he reactivated, and then he got his girlfriend, not his girlfriend, but his fuck buddy, pregnant. And when he got her pregnant, now he's a father in 2 months. But he's going to make more money. He wants to be a father now. Before, he was really worried. He was traumatized, but I told him maybe he should accept it, and he might make a good father. He wants to put it off. He wants to make even more money, but his hair is starting to turn white. You know, for the Indian student. His hair is already turning white. I say there's no better time than now. And now he's happy to be a father. The baby is due in 2.5 months. So pretty soon he's going to be a father. And I'm going to announce an inner circle. He's the guy in Elite 30, the Indian guy in Module 2. He's going to be a father with my training. He's been training with me for 10 years. Was it worth it? So you guys need to make sure you can get her pregnant first, or you get married. And then you can worry like when the baby's coming or when you're married, then you make more money. So your money problems are all solved because you have no choice. You burn the boats behind you. Plan A. Fuck plan B. Your plan B about Latin countries and Tinder and all this other shit. Fuck plan B. Have a plan A. Join my coaching. That's exactly it. Does that make sense? This is key because the inflation is making most men never make it. You're never going to make enough money during the inflation. You're always going to feel like a loser, so you have more cortisol. And mGtOw are quitters. They think the waiting will help. They got to keep making money. They can't make money if they're spending and getting into debt. But the inflation keeps rising, crushing their future. Women delays marriage, thinking that they'll be rich one day, when 98.8% of women will not make over $1 million. So the longer you wait, so that debunks the whole girl boss thing. The worse it gets. You must act now before it's too late. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's mGtOw, it's growing, right? More men are choosing to quit dating and avoid marriage, or even trying to get her pregnant, not that they can, and focus on themselves, as they say. But just because something is growing doesn't mean it's good. Cancer grows too. Most of these guys are on red pill watch list of the government. We're talking about like, you know, the government has watch lists, right? For terrorists. They have watch lists for red pill. They have a watch list for black pill, but they also have a watch list for mGtOw. Most of these guys don't even know it yet. The government is spying on them because they're dangerous people. They're on the watch list because they're bitter losers. Even their own kinds are listening to their rationalizations are as dumb as listening to terrorists, justifying their actions. They're like, oh, you have to understand them first. I don't have to listen to fucking terrorists. I don't have to listen to mGtOw? Because these are delusional sociopaths. I don't have to fucking listen to them to understand them. Just like Israel, just fucking bomb them, and metaphorically speaking, and just, you don't have to deal with the backwards thinking people. They don't even know they're sociopaths. They're on the fucking watch list. They're delusional sociopaths who can't handle reality. And my students are getting married. These mGtOw sociopaths can literally justify anything. It doesn't put them in the right. Well, the tricky thing is that mGtOw is growing like a fucking cancer. That's not a path to success. Most of these guys are on the watch list in red pill spaces and even viewed as losers by society. My students who marries and have kids are thriving, while mGtOw men are stay broke and bitter and blaming. So let's play one more testimonial for you. An Indian student who just got married. So one second. I'm just texting my roommate of a package outside for Amazon. Hopefully I don't lose it. All right. So I'm going to play a testimonial from one of my Indian students who just got married recently. I did not post his testimonial because you guys didn't give a fuck. Okay. All right. The roommate says, okay, it's already inside, right? Excellent. All right. So here's a testimonial of an Indian student.
Hi, I'm a former student of John, and I wanted to give this video testimonial. John has been very helpful to me, and I started out in game many years ago, and I went through a bunch of coaches. I've been through a bunch of boot camps, and nothing really was working for me. However, I discovered John eventually, and I found his advice very practical and very real. He, at least for me, eliminated all the BS advice out in the dating game and he picked specifically like advice that works better for tall, good-looking white guys, and not like below SMV guys like myself. I am not white. I'm bald. I stutter, and so John tailored that advice to guys like me.
Yeah, in case you guys start thinking, right, like ABCs. Oh yeah, they all sound like they're not reading a script. They just all sound like Asperger's because they are. Most of the students are Asperger's. That's why they talk like that. It's actually like how they talk. I don't know why they talk like that, but it's kind of ridiculous. But they're all monotone. They're all full of pauses and stuff, and because that's how their brain's like.
He told me to wear inserts. He advised me on improving my fashion. I would send him photos of the clothes that I wear, and then he would give me feedback. He told me exactly which accessories to get and which like suit coat or style thing to get, and that was very helpful. I would also, his weekly video streams were also very helpful for him. I would sit on quite a lot of those and ask him questions when I felt necessary. John has also reached out to me just to check up on my progress in game. He does take a very strong interest in all his students, and he wants me to do well. He wants all his students to be very successful, and so I appreciate that aspect about him, that he has a personal investment in all his students. I got married a month ago to a wonderful woman.
So this is like his marriage was around like, I think either November or December. It was November or something last year. So if he can get married at 5'4", then what's with all this loser fucking talk happening? What the fuck is happening? Why is there so much loser behavior? Does that make sense? Why is there so much fucking loser behavior? So much blaming, so much like shifting the blame. Oh, it's all women's fault. Okay. But when is it ever your fault? When is it ever your fault? So, like I said, get her pregnant first, get married first, then you make more money if you're married first. That's the flow chart, right? So, marriage, more money, kids. Or you want to like already have kids by getting her pregnant, or you don't use a condom, whatever. I'm not saying you should do that, but most of my sociopath students, they don't use condoms, so they always get her pregnant. And then you marry her, and then you make more money. This is universal for my students. And then you cheat on the side. No, I'm just joking. I'm not saying you should do that, but they do that. My students do that. And the women don't care because the guy has some value. But this is a 5'4" Indian over here, bald Indian. So it's not just about fucking height. It's not just height. He's skilled. He has skills. This is what mGtOw don't understand. I wish I could post all these testimonials. I may post all of them, just censoring the voice. So I'll give a commentary because saying you guys been ignoring all my miracles. But now you guys gotten over the fucking mindset that you have to have the perfect condition before you get married. So you should not even try in dating. I hope that I debunked that fucking myth that you have to have enough money and everything has to be perfect before you even try to get married. I think the opposite is true. You should just throw yourself in the situation and then you'll calibrate afterwards. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's what you need to do. You need to let go of this mGtOw shit. And you should not beat yourself up because I criticize other companies and you think it's super hard. Well, it may be hard for them, but is it hard for my students to get married or for them to get laid? No. No. This guy already got many lays, even at 5'4". So what the fuck are you talking about? It's all mental bullshit. Stop quitting. Unquit. I need more soldiers. Join my elite bundle too. Yeah. Speaking of elite bundle too, right? I'm only selling one course this year. Elite bundle 2. I have burned all the boats behind me. You know how mGtOw, you need to have plan A. This is my plan A. There's no plan B. So there's no more Elite 30 for 1 year. It might come back in 2026 when the economy gets better. No more Elite Day Game First Steps. Might come back 2026. No more Elite Playbook. Might come back 2026. There's only Elite Bundle 2. Only one option. I burn all the boats behind me. If you want to get married like all these other people and you don't want to fucking bancho, I don't know how else to convince you because I was thinking to myself, the 5-1 strategy, which I learned from a female that's like making $400,000 a month. She says that you should only focus on one product, one audience, level 2, one offer, one platform, and one something else. I forgot what. One type or whatever. 5 ones. And you might say, well, that's crazy, John. If you focus on the 5 ones, all the other people that bought Elite 30 and they want to go upwards to Elite Access and then do Elite Bundle 2, you're going to lose their clients. I'm telling you the truth. These guys are so fucking poor that Elite 30, they can't even afford Elite 30 at 250. That's how fucking poor these people are. The poor became poorer because of the binflation. Level 1 people that are poor became level 0. Level 2 people that could afford $1,000 before, now they're level 1. Level 3, the banchoding engineers. Now AI is taking over the fucking job. Mark Zuckerberg wants to cut all the fucking people, or many of them, and AI takes over their fucking engineering jobs. The Bencho Indians. And usually, like I said before, the Indians that have the less amount of ADHD and they make the more money, they can afford boot camps, Bencho camps. But the rest of the Indians cannot afford it. Okay? I don't know why my hair is like that, but the rest of Indians cannot afford it. So they just Bencho. So how much for Elite Bundle 2? Well, let's just compare the prices first, okay? How about this is a good time to ask me questions about Elite Bundle 2? Because when you look at the last lay testimonial of the Italian student with 8 lays, all those lays were from Elite Bundle 2. When you look at the Jewish white student with 17 lays last year, it was from Elite Bundle 2. From a Vietnamese guy who bangs an 18-year-old stunner Latina influencer. She's like 9 out of 10 in looks, 18 years old, smoking fucking hot, elite bundle 2. So we can talk about the solutions. It's about solutions. I cut out all the other courses because I asked myself, if I was a new day gamer, right, like brand new, and I'd never done day game before, would I take Elite 30 knowing that I need a better mental filter and I cannot do it by myself? I said no. So I said I would not buy it, even though the course will work in 2026 without Elite access. So I cut it out because ethically, if people are more delusional and they have lower self-esteem and they're delusional, they're half-assing it, they're procrastinating, the wrong path to sociopath and then quitting mGtOw, how are they going to use Elite 30? Elite 30 has the solutions, but how are they going to do it if they can't think clearly? And they're bench holding. They can't do 21 days in a row to build a neural pathway, a new habit. If they can't do it, then why sell it? But just so many late testimonials for that course. I can always get rid of it till next year. Boot camps. How much do boot camps cost averagely? ABC's boot camps are around $10,000, I believe. Maybe $6,000 for 1 or 2 Latin countries, or $10,000 for multiple. Queefing cancel Casanova, the other Asian dating coach, for their boot camps when they're pulling underage girls in Brazil. Those world tours are $50,000. UFO is charging probably like $2,000 per day. That's how much you're charging. After a couple of days, it adds up, or maybe like $3,000 a day. They're making money hands over fist. Because people become woke, the platform scammers, the global game networks, their DEI initiatives, these people should not even be having a platform. They don't even get students laid. That doesn't mean you should quit. They're charging $8,600 for a 10-day boot camp now. So you can learn how to use alcohol in the bedroom. And they don't even have new boot camp documentaries. They just post some old shit. Recycled old shit. Because it no longer works. It doesn't mean you should quit day game. Because just because platform scammers of popular people cannot get their students laid does not mean you should quit. Because I can get you guys laid easily. You have to do exactly what I say. So it's not $10,000. It's not $50,000. It's not $8,600. Elite Bundle 2 is how much? $900. I was going to charge like $1,000. It's only fucking $900. You're like, really? How do you make money? It doesn't matter to me. It's not about the money. It's just that people are level 2. They only spend $1,000. So if I make it $900, they'll automatically say yes. Good value. You have Elite 30 from hard case to hero. You have Elite Playbook, the other one that the Spanish guy in the United States who got married, and also like, you know, he's a father. He got Elite Playbook and he got laid with it in 2024. Then you have Elite Access. You got 1.5 years instead of 1 year of consulting, 10 minutes a day. Just like my other students, they're asking me questions because this guy wants to get another job for a job interview. He's asking me, is he doing it correctly?
So tell me about yourself. My name is Fabio, and I've been working in New Jersey for around 20 years. Some of my hobbies include going out for bike rides.
Yeah, he's one of the people that shows up here sometimes on YouTube Live.
I think it's for everyone also to take logistics.
I think the problem with this is that only one hand moves overall, your right hand. But you only did it in the beginning. You need to have some more gestures once in a while. Like, you have to sound more genuine. Like, it's not just like you're just reading a script. You have to sound like somebody they want to work with. The genuineness in your voice has to be there. That's the problem. Also, your hands are always like kind of forward like that on your knees. That's not good. You should bend your elbows a little bit more and be more relaxed. It's very tense looking. I mean, overall, the neck is good. Let me look at the facial expressions again.
Whenever we have a heavy workload, commute here is provided standard volume.
When I say only move up to 80% of your face, you're moving way more than you're like down to like 20% now. You have made too less of a movement, like you have a Botox face. Does that make sense? So you're actually going the opposite way. I say only make it 20% less for the facial expressions, and you'll be right on the target. But you're doing it way too low. This is wrong. fix it. All right. So that's elite access. You get for 1.5 years now. He only gets it for 1 year. All the other students, I'm changing it because this army I want to build, I want to make sure that they actually follow through. 1.5 years is longer than 1 year of coaching. That's valuable because you get my mental filter. You cannot use my products without my mental filter when you're delusional during the inflation. Binflation, even though he's gone very soon, is not going to work. My products work, but people cannot execute if they're acting like a zombie. So you also get 11 Skypes instead of 10. They're 1 hour each. 11 Skypes. And you can use that. 11 Skypes. And you can like learn a lot, even more than elite access. It's almost like 30 questions in a row. You can rapid fire me, write down all your questions. And also you get elite day game first steps, which is how to make your first approach, get over approach anxiety. Is a booklet on WhatsApp. You also get elite focus for day gamers. This is a course on how to budget your money, not to lose your fucking mind. Because if you start having money problems, you're not going to be able to focus. You're going to have the loser effect and get cortisol. It'll teach you supplements. It'll teach you how to deal with your ADHD. It'll teach you how to focus, how to prioritize things, how to budget, how to pay off your debt. That's necessary. And from there, you have a 50 soundtrack. I can't play on here because YouTube likes to cut off my music. That way makes you more motivated because you're always thinking about day game. I have a soundtrack that I made. I'm a music producer now on the side. Having said that, you get all this stuff for only $900. None of these things were included before. Like Elite Day Game First Steps was not included, or Elite Focus, or the 50 soundtrack, or 11 Skypes. That's cheaper than a boot camp. So what do I get out of it? Because I don't care about the money. I'm thinking even if I had 50 students, I won't even make enough. I'll make less than 50,000 if it's $900. That's not even enough to fucking, like, for me personally, that's not even enough money for me to survive. I had to pay the fucking rent. It's like fucking $2,000 per month. So I'm actually losing money by doing this, but I get more people laid and I can help my fellow Asians. I know you guys are already quitting. Some of you are disappearing. But I'm looking for army. I'm just going to tell you, I want to manifest this. I want an army of day gamers. I want killers. I'm looking for ruthless people that has grit, that can take a punch, get knocked down, get back up. I'm looking for a very specific type. I'm looking for trained killers. Like, I'm looking for Navy SEALs. That's what I'm looking for. So, need to take extreme ownership. Thank you, John. You guys have to take extreme ownership. Because if you don't take extreme ownership, you're going to bench hold. And the people that already have Elite 30, right? You just have to pay the difference. You don't have to pay for the whole $900. So if you spend $250, like, for example, JP over there, then why not just pay for the rest minus $250? And then you get elite access for 1.5 years. You get the other course, Elite Playbook, and you also get all the other courses. JP has not joined me yet. Maybe it's time. You have more money now. You've been working really hard as an engineer. Why not join right now? You don't have to pay me full $900. It's not that much money. But the thing is, I get a bigger army. So this is a pledge for the future. Anyone who's ever bought my courses before, just pay the difference. I'll let you join. I need an army. If we have 50 people, I'll have so many late testimonials. We'll have over 100. If I get 100 students, like I said, I burn all the boats behind me. I'm basically going all in. I'm just have to learn how to write a better sales letter for Elite Bundle 2, how to sell it better. So, been doing Muay Thai has helped my self-esteem. Exercise help. I plan, but I don't want to be a... Okay. Do you want to join this year? Because once Donald Trump gets rid of all the other Latinos, I know you're Latinos, they're going to kick out 13 million. The economy will get better in the summertime. Are you coachable? In the past, you were not coachable, but now, are you ready to join? If you're not ready, that's too bad. But I'm looking for people that are not procrastinators, who are not putting things off, who are not delusional, who are making good choices. I want people that want results. Are you out there? I'm trying to turn people from mGtOw to un-mGtOw. I'm trying to reactivate them. That's why I'm making these videos. But I'm looking for an army for Elite Bundle too. I want the biggest fucking army. Last year, 56 laden poll testimonials. I've beaten every fucking coach combined. I don't want to just beat them. I want to beat them so badly and make an example of them even worse than last year. 56 laden poll testimonials. Why not 100? I usually get over 100 laid testimonials or 100 laid in poll every year before that, before the pandemic, during the pandemic, before the fucking pandemic. Why only 56? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not so much thinking about the money. That's not a lot of money. I'm not going to make enough on the back end. If people get 3 months of proficiency bundle, 1 year of coaching, one-on-one, then I'll make back some more money. And that'll get me closer to the 6-figure range I usually made before. Not anymore. I used to make like 10K a month. Now it's just like people are so poor, they're quitting like crazy because I'm criticizing other companies. But I hope that makes sense. So, another student.
January 19th, audio 2.
Okay, so he's practicing a breathing technique. He has to hold his breath a certain amount. That's another homework assignment from another student. And then afterwards, he has to lower his voice, right? He has to do the humming sound. And then it will start to sound more like accurate. Pass. This one's passed.
Xlib 7001. And effective writing are important in many aspects of our lives. This course will help you recognize.
No, this does not pass because you're just moving your voice up and down like an Asian person trying to think. That's not how the drills. You should try to sound like the person that you're imitating. It needs to sound like, hey, I'm learning how to do this, and I'm sounding more like a white person. You have to know when to emphasize certain words and when to go lower and slower when you're emphasizing other things. Like, for example, you need to learn how to hit those certain notes and sound like a white person, kind of like me right now. And I'm on YouTube Live, believe it or not. So that's how I talk, like more like a white person. Does that make sense? So that does not pass for the homework assignment, unfortunately. You got to keep working on it, bro. I'm sorry, but you don't sound like a white person. Try to do what I do, right? And that's exactly what you need to do to pass the homework assignment. So yeah, this is elite access. So they get like advice for 10 minutes a day, and they're having a bet with me now. The students, if they cannot finish all their homework by Sunday, which is today, they have to pay me more money. So this is a new experiment. I did not yell at them, but it doesn't always motivate them. Sometimes they lose, they start having more cortisol and they become more delusional. When they win, then they start to have more testosterone. Does that make sense? It's very important to have a lot more testosterone, be more aggressive. You need to have the forward gear. That's why I'm going to teach you how to fight. But you see the students are always doing drills, right? Drills equals lays. This is what ABCs and other coaches don't understand. It's not game and mass approaching. It's leveling up your skills, building new habits until they change. And your voice would change when he does that humming sound thing, that exercise. So, hope that makes sense. No, I mean the second one does not pass. Right? And once again, you're doing everything last minute. Right? Fucking procrastinating like a fucking zombie. Right? Like I said, all the people that are low self-esteem, ADHD, and depressed are always procrastinating. They're like serial procrastinators. You saw that screenshot I posted at the hospital thing, right? So yeah, basically, some of the students, they procrastinate like crazy. I found this from a hospital thing that I was sending to the other students. And it says that serial procrastinate. These are not going to make good students. So if JP, you're a serial procrastinator, maybe you should not be in the coaching. You're not going to be able to do a single homework assignment. You'll fail every single week. But here's the, if I can find it. Okay, let me look for another student. Just bear with me. So I'm only looking for a specific student, right? I sent him I'm going to read what it says over here on the hospital website, right? About procrastination. It actually identifies exactly what I'm teaching you guys. What is procrastination? Experts define procrastination as self-defeating. I'll sound whitewash, okay? Experts define procrastination as self-defeating behavioral patterns marked by short-term benefits and long-term cost. Many of us knows it is putting things off that we need to get done, no matter what the level of difficulty behind the task. We all procrastinate from time to time. However, when we develop a habit of putting off unnecessary actions, even when we face negative consequences, procrastination can affect our well-being. According to a 2014 study on procrastination and coping, 20 to 25% of adults worldwide are chronic procrastinators, like JP. Low self-esteem, ADHD, and poor study habits. So it says this issue can be linked to depression, exactly what I said all this time, anxiety, which I did not mention, low self-esteem, the 4 traits, and ADHD and poor study habits. Procrastination is connected to negative functioning and makes risk to mental health. Exactly what I'm talking about, the cortisol. People who procrastinate tends to have high levels of anxiety, cortisol, as well as poor impulse control. Procrastination is linked to physical illnesses, cortisol. People who procrastinate experience more stress, cortisol, exactly what I said, and they tend to delay treatments, which can create a cycle of poor health and just putting things off. Okay? Can you also check out the breathing audio? I'm just going to pass the audio, right? I think I checked it out earlier before, right? What's left of your homework for this week? Can you update me? Remember, you did not pass the whitewash tonality exercise yet. You're still doing it last minute at 7:21 p.m. Come on now. So when you read that thing, right, I'm reading on YouTube Live right now. Do you see how you're procrastinating week after week? You're literally gambling everything at the last fucking minute on this bet. You need to be yelled at, right? Stop being a fucking zombie and fucking fix it. This is what I realized about it, is that if I don't yell at you guys and I'm just betting with you guys, you're gonna fucking fail. This is unfucking acceptable. Stop being a fucking zombie. You're not mGtOw, so fuck that.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Here we go again. Great to see you and congratulations.
Great to see you and congratulations.
Thank you. You will never forget.
You will never forget.
This one is past, right? This one's past, right? For that tonality one, that's quite accurate. I only heard a few seconds, but just because it's a new exercise, why did you have to do it at the very end? It's like, you know, the other student, the black guy, right? From London, he fucking failed his fucking bet. Now I get to yell at him more. He fucking failed it. He didn't even try. Like, you guys are acting like fucking zombies. Like, you guys are not mGtOw. So stop fucking acting like the binflation fucking mGtOw pieces of shit. What the fuck? Fix it. Yeah, sometimes you gotta yell at them. I'm very ruthless as a coach. You want results? You train here. This army. If you try to do it yourself and I try to be nice to you like ABCs, and I know if I criticize ABCs, you guys will quit. That's not the point. The point is, don't shift the blame. Fucking get her pregnant, get married first. Then afterwards, you make more money. Problem solved. Always make more money because you have to. Burn the boats behind you. Just go ahead first. Same with Elite Bundle 2. I'm only looking for people that are not bench holding, not half-assing things. They're serious about this. There was a guy who's Vietnamese who's asking me. I think it's from the United States, but I can't contact him because he's not on WhatsApp. Listen, you want to join this? I'm looking for serious people that are ruthless. You have to be ruthless. In the Indian person from India who doesn't do shit, right? It's like, oh, I can't afford it. Can you give me free advice to get laid? How about my free advice is get your fucking life in order. You stop bench holding. Listen to your audio. Exactly. Your first instinct is that, because you have better habits with old assignments, right? So therefore, when you have a new assignment, you always do it last minute. Serial procrastinators, I don't think they can change. Looking at the data, you guys have to be yelled at from now on. You have to be fucking yelled at because you need a cortisol spike. You need a fucking cortisol spike. And the low self-esteem, right? Until you're yelled at, you guys are not going to take any fucking action. Fix it and try to copy what I said in the whitewash tonality. It's okay. I mean, you're on YouTube Live, so it doesn't matter. At least they know that what you guys are going through, that all the student results are real. And second of all, you all have to go through hell to get to where you're at by building habits. You can't just gamify everything and be lazy fucking zombies. You have to earn your salvation here in my army to be that skillful, my IDF. So anyways, all the students, right? Every single success they have. This guy took the mental trauma cure. Afterwards, he got a job. He has a good job. You know, he does accounting shit in Canada. He lives here in BC. He wouldn't got there without my coaching. You get it? He would not have gotten there without it. He would just been fucking jobless and then living in with his mother in the fucking basement. But I help him get a job and I help him pass all the stuff, his job interviews, just like the other student who's asking. You have to use Elite Access. You want to succeed? You need my mental filter. You need my mental filter. You cannot be fucking zombies. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm manifesting this. Anyone out there who is fucking tough, a Navy SEALs, you're ruthless, and you're like me. Even though I don't want to be on YouTube Live, I always burn the boats behind me. Whoever has the resilience to burn the boats behind them and go for plan A, fuck Latin countries, get laid in the United States first. You can do all the passport bro shit you want afterwards, or use Tinder. Afterwards, you get laid in the United States first with my coaching. So don't feel like it's hard because the other dating coaches are Asperger's. If you have social intelligence, social skills, it's super fucking easy. Day game is too easy. Super fucking easy. Not for their coaches, harder, but for my students, super easy. They just have to be less zombie. See what he's saying. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm manifesting that. So words, thank you. All right. So I'm gonna eat some dinner. I'm gonna cut some chicken katsu. You know what chicken katsu is, right? It's like curry with crunchy panko chicken. And I put in the oil, I fry it, and I cut into pieces just like one of those teriyaki chickens. It has a nice crispy layer. I'm just thinking about it makes me hungry. With low heat in the oil, and it's just the best fucking crunch ever. And without air fryer this time. Oh, I want some fucking, I want some chicken curry katsu with rice. Sounds so good, right? I'm cutting weight right now. Look, if you actually train with me, you'll be cutting weight. You'll be fixing your cortisol problem. Instead of trying to convince you, you've been here on YouTube Live for years. Why don't you invest in yourself and throw yourself here and then calibrate afterwards? Same with all of you. Fuck mGtOw. Fuck, leveling up. You can't do it by yourself because the problem is that you're delusional. You think you know everything. You take some of my advice, you half-ass things until you're ready to stop being a sewer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get offended when I say that. They get, oh, you can't say that. I never said that. I'm just saying until you stop not investing in yourself and stop being a delusional Latino fuck behavior. Even my other Latino student, he was acting like a fucking zombie. And now he's working on a job interview. He lost his fucking job because he caught COVID and then his boss yelled at him and then he just quits. He rage quits. Fucking stupid. Now he has to get another job back. He's becoming delusional. And another Latino student, Marco, who was here in the beginning, that guy is fucking banned for 2 weeks because he's been lazy. Latinos are losing their fucking minds. But I got Marco got 2 lays last year, and now he needs to get married this year with a white girl. It's just not following fucking instructions. It's fucking lazy. Like everyone's just falling apart. I'm not looking for people that fall apart. I want people that are tough. For me, look at me. I'm only selling Elite Bundle 2. It's fucking risky. Am I falling apart? I don't feel like being on YouTube Live. You know what? I just take a shower. I put some fucking pomade. Even though I fucked it up, I still show up because I have grit. I'm resilient. It does what I think and what I feel does not determine what I'm going to do. I'll say this again. If I say I'm going to do something, be on YouTube Live, I'm going to be on fucking YouTube Live. If I'm going to say I'm going to be tomorrow on YouTube Live and continue this, I'm going to be on fucking YouTube Live. If I say I'm going to make another video on the video section, I'm going to be on the fucking video section and cut the video. I don't give a fuck. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to punch you in the face, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face, no matter what. So that's why I don't say anything I will not fucking do. So I'm looking for those type of students. I have to rescue everybody from mGtOw. If I can rescue everybody and fix the world, then I can build my army. mGtOw is the enemy to your results. Stop trying to be perfect, getting your life in order like JP before you even consider marriage and procreation. So therefore, you don't approach. Fuck that mentality. Just get her pregnant first. Get married afterwards and make more money. Problem solved. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to chase pussy when you're married or you have a long-term girlfriend. Then you can focus on work. Don't focus on work first. Focus on work after you get pussy. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, thank you for being here on YouTube Live. I'm gonna stop this video. I'm gonna have that fucking chicken katsu. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking glorious. The crunch and everything. Just thinking about it. You guys seen it before, right? When I cooked it, the curry, like coconut curry and fucking rice, right? That basmati rice, long grain rice. I'm a good cook. You know, I'm like the only Canadian that can eat meat every single day. Other people don't even make enough money in Canada that they're eating vegetables all week. That's how poor they are. They are the sewers. Even though this guy's Canadian, he's accountant, he's fine. He can afford it. But the other people are fucking poor. I haven't gotten a lot of Canadian students in a long time. So I don't have to pay that much taxes for my GST for the fucking Canadians because they're cheap. Long grain and basmati rice is the best. That's right. I don't like jasmine rice. You know, Chinese rice. I don't like Chinese rice. I'm over that. Johnny Lee only exclusively eats basmati rice, Indian rice, imported from India. Johnny Lee does not eat Chinese rice, jasmine rice. Fuck that shit. Long grain rice or nothing else. And I'm going to use coconut curry. I know how to make curry. So it's going to be delicious. I could take a picture, but I don't want to show it because it doesn't go with my brand image anymore in the community section. You guys saw all the pictures of the food, right? It's very delicious. But I just don't want to show it. I also have some pizza dough. Maybe it's not fully risen up. So I'll make it for tomorrow. I'll make some pizzas for tomorrow. So let's see here. I got some pictures of the food here. Oh yeah, here's a pizza that I made the other day. Let me just 1 second. Oh shit, I was using 1080p, not 4K. Okay, let me just turn this off for a second. See, maybe I should teach you guys how to cook. If you guys can cook, then you can save some more money for Elite Bundle too. Yeah, we should do that. I should teach you how to cook. Here's my pizza. I made this from scratch. I'll just lower the contrast. Hold on a second. I made that. With all the leopard spots and stuff like they have in Italy. So, and here's me cooking like ribeye steak. I don't believe in eating vegetables. The brightness keeps changing. Let me see if I can turn off adaptive brightness. Some steak, ribeye, long ribeye. Fucking juicy. Here's my bacon spaghetti. This is like made from all of the oily or whatever it's called, spaghetti with bacon on the side. Okay, here's a chicken katsu. So it's a little bit dark. Let's make it a little brighter so it reflects more of what it looks like. Yeah, here it is. Here's a chicken katsu with right here. You can see it. Is it getting brighter again? Let me see. Chicken katsu, you see that? With basmati rice and panko breadcrumbs. I made it better looking than last time, but you guys can see it. Very delicious. You get that much chicken breast. Seriously. See that? It's fucking delicious. Imagine just shoving your mouth. Like, how much would it cost for something like this with the inflation? Quite expensive, right? It's only like $7 or something for the chicken breast. That's like 2 of them. So here's me making some chicken tenders, which I can also make today. I'm not sure if I want to make katsu or chicken tenders. Pretty cool, right? Here's some other steaks. This one's called New York Strip. And that's the thing. Maybe this doesn't go with my brand image, but I eat quite well. I'm not poor. But at the same time, this year has been tougher. But here it is. Ribeye. No, this is like New York Strip with HP sauce and rice, basmati rice. But yeah, I'm very hungry right now. I just want to fucking... Here's some more like ribeye. Here's a ribeye and spaghetti. It's a little bit brighter. Fuck, am I ever hungry? So that's all ribeye around there. I'm so fucking hungry. Look at this, bacon and eggs. Oh yeah, maybe I should eat bacon tonight. A bunch of fucking eggs. Also over here, this is like, what's this called? This is stuff you get in those buffets and stuff. When they have a big roast of like prime rib. It's cooked, but with gravy and stuff. If you think I should teach you guys how to cook, so that way if you know how to cook, right, then you cannot make excuses that you cannot afford Elite Bundle 2. If you guys know how to cook and save money, right, by eating at home. So there's some chicken drumsticks for a fried chicken. I made all this, by the way. I could teach you guys how to cook. I'm a pretty good cook. It's genetics. My grandmother, her funeral was like yesterday. I didn't attend, but she's a good cook. So I think I only inherited that like more recently. Before I didn't know I could cook. So I'm self-taught. But most of my cooking is rated above like 90% for the flavor. Ah, here's French fries. I can teach you guys how to make all this stuff. French fries. Let's see here. Use these oil here, right? To cook the French fries. Oh yeah, I made a burger and fries. Let's see it. I made like a big burger over here. It's a little bit sloppy looking, but big juicy burger. Yeah, you can make French fries from scratch. So you don't need to spend so much money at McDonald's. Even like steak with French fries. Oh man, I'm fucking hungry just thinking about it. You see, I don't eat until much later. Right now it's like 7 something. I have not eaten anything all day. I only drink Soylent. So that's exactly what I've been teaching you guys, to save money, to drink Soylent. I'll make the videos for the video section for the device. So here's some tacos, right? Since JP, you're Latino, right? Some tacos. Yeah, there's so much food here. Here's like sirloin steak. We're really off topic here. I hope you guys learn a lot. I'm gonna stop this soon. I need to eat something. I'm fucking hungry. Oh, this is like me making curry with Indian samosas. You're like, what the fuck? John actually eats Indian food and also Latino food. Yep. This is samosas. You see that? So I can make samosas from scratch. Like, what the fuck? Exactly. Here's chicken, or this is like beef curry with rice. The plates, you cannot see it too well, but with basmati rice and there's a bunch of ribeyes. Oh, this is the New York strip, I mean. Man, I'm fucking hungry. Just here's some fish and chips that I made. This is codfish. Oh man, just so hungry. Yeah, I cannot like. There's some spaghetti that I made. Oil di olive spaghetti. Good job, sir. You want more recipes? No, I don't need more recipes. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you might like this one. Look at this. Here's a burrito with rice and everything, basmati rice, beef and everything. See? From scratch. I made the whole tortilla shell. I didn't buy it from the store. It's fucking good. Fuck. There's a bunch of chicken tenders. All made from scratch. So oh, this is when I caught COVID, I remember. I'm just going back. Here's a bunch of tacos. I don't know. I like to make my own food. I think I can make it better at tasting than most restaurants. Here's another pizza, but not as good as the last one before. They're improving now. But yeah, I think that covers a lot I want to cover. That's enough for today's YouTube live. See you next time. We're going to talk about next topic. I don't remember which one, but I did write like maybe 2 more scripts or something. Like there's 2 or 3 more scripts I want to get through for mGtOw. Then we'll move on. But we have to deal with this topic now, right? Or there's going to be nobody left to Daygame. They're going to quit. I have to make them unquit. So, all right. Fuck. What's wrong with my hair? Okay, I'm having bad hair day. But yeah.